Is he even listening? All those prayers unanswered. You're fooling yourself.
God, a myth for the weak. Look at the world. Chaos, suffering. Where's your savior now?
What kind of man are you? Always second guessing, never decisive. Real men lead, you follow. You falter, pathetic. Choices define it.
She deserves better. Your love is weak, unreliable.
How long would you see he's a fraud? You're an apple rock. You're crumbly sand.
Daddy, you're supposed to protect, teach, inspire. But look, failures pile up. What legacy are you leaving?
The battle within never ends. Fight me if you can.
Extraterrestrial, like an extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial, like an extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong, I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong, I Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial.
Right now, open the door. Open the door.
Who I gotta get used to this. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the BTSI show. Yo, it's Chris Bridger. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as y'all can see, I'm 38 years old. Yes, I made it to my 38th birthday. Let me get some coffee. Oh, wait. Because I'm only working on a couple of hours of sleep. And we'll go into details why I only got only 2, maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep in more than 2 days. But who's in the building? My sis is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My bro here is too. What else? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ski Max is in the building. P, trust me, I'm good. I'm good. I'm a thespian. So I do. And shout out to Witch Doctor for the music. I'm going to be getting more music from him later on down the road as soon as I find a creative idea of how I want to tackle the next spot that I am going to be exploring. Hold on, let me get. Do I want to get the YouTube link right? No, I better just get the Cash App link ready for Clubhouse. Let's see, get this. And I know I should have had this done. I know. Matter of fact, I was gonna do it 8 o'clock tonight, but this is my last day of freedom because as soon as this stream ends, back to the real world. Let me get rid of this. Let me get this. Where's that pin link? There we go. All right. We all set? All right, good. All right, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to another edition of the BTSI show. I'm your host, Chris Bridger. Thank you guys for tuning in on my 38th birthday. I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I'm actually glad that I can control this. I can control my YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all from the desktop now because I had trouble doing that at my previous location, but here we are. So on your way in, you want more content like this, please subscribe, share it out. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. Am I forgetting? Cash App giveaway. Oh yes, we're still on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I want to take a moment to thank all the people who has been subscribing as of late. Um, Thank you for acknowledging the efforts that I've been putting in these last. Has it been a month? I think it's actually, yeah, I think it's been a month, or maybe 3 weeks that I've been putting this effort into this projects that I've been doing. So thank you guys for subscribing. Last time I checked, we had 965. So if my math's correct, as soon as we get 35 more subscribers, we will be doing the Cash App giveaway episode. So we did it when we did 500. We did a Cash App giveaway. If I recall correctly, Daryl Long won that $50 Cash App. We're gonna do a $100 Cash App, and I may do a runner-up Cash App giveaway as well. We'll see. So, and especially what's going on after today. Trust me, I'm all confident I'm gonna have that stuff taken enough for a Cash App giveaway. And participant waive all rights and privacy. Links are posted up top on the YouTube, so you guys want to pull up, you're more than welcome to. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the birthday celebration. And speaking of which, here's my brother, One Happy Wednesday, Sally Building. What's good, man?
What's happening, old mother flipper?
F you. Okay, how we doing this? We can do it like this.
There you go. What's
Okay,
up, man?
Not much, man. Last obligation to YouTube on my free day. After that, y'all give me when y'all give me.
Hey, listen. Look, I always tell people don't get all up in two hearts about YouTube. It's either gonna catch or it's not gonna catch. The important thing is it's your birthday, man. What you doing, big dog?
Well, let's see. I didn't feel like doing a regular episode. I wanted to do something like we may go back to 3 rounds of Siege. I know you a lot of people wanted to well, you particularly wanted to hear about my, I guess, new talking point from yesterday. So we're gonna get into that. And just let everybody know it's the birthday. I normally don't ask this, but the Cash App is right there. Top corner right over there. The name is right there. Feel free to make any form of donation would be greatly appreciated.
Most definitely. So what you get into today so far? Because this is already 6:25 my time. So what you done did today?
Yeah, we at the same time. I ain't do nothing yesterday, but last 2 days I was still on grind mode. I had 2 hours of sleep in the last 2 days because things happen in real life.
Yeah.
And I got to find a way to go get some extra money. Yeah. And it's a reminder of how bad do you want it. I only got 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that real life always gonna kick in ass. But the thing is, though, you still find time for yourself, especially to enjoy yourself and to have fun. The way I look at it is, I mean, you got another day on this earth and another year to really be appreciative of having that blessing to be able to do the things that you do. So it's people who didn't wake up today. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Nah, that's real. That's real. So trust me, I'm grateful. Yeah. But after this, I always said I'm the hardest working person on YouTube because I incorporate real life into that as well.
Yeah.
So we going back to the old school days, 7 days a week. Some of you guys already know how many hours I work, so just do the math. So we're going back to that. And honestly, I think it's just my comfort zone at this point. I like working. I like that also helps with my creativity process for YouTube. And it just works. I guess it just works for me. So it's like, can't stop a good thing now. Maybe a couple of years down the road when if some things change, we'll see. But other than that, I'm a workhorse.
Yeah, this how can I say this safely? Because of the way things go in real life, you pick and choose your battles and you pick and choose what you can devote yourself to. Um, and when you gotta not when you have to do, but when you do what you want to do, that's where you really find joy, peace, and happiness at. And my thing is being a workhorse, man. It's not fun being in one spot at all times. You see what I'm saying? I'm kind of speaking through the lines here on this one, but I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean.
Yeah, and I got and also I got things to do, and can't do it on my current situation. It was good to take my foot off the gas, but real life says, yeah, this is not what we do. So
real life has a way of kicking you in the ass and say, "Hey, yo," or just to let you know I'm still here.
Oh yeah.
Real life be like, "Oh, okay, I'm glad you tried to take that break, but guess what? I'm still here." So you still got to deal with me. You still got to deal with me. Other than that, I did want to come up and holler at you though. So this talking point. It's your birthday, but I'm still interested in that talking point because I've been looking at it all day, and I had to go through and scratch my brain a couple of times. I'm like, huh? I'm still trying to put two and two.
Okay, so let's get into that. Where I think is I might have said anti-black people, and if I said that, my sincerest apology. That was I misspoke. Anti-community is the word. Actually, the word I'm looking for is anti-community. And ladies and gentlemen, it's no secret. We already debunked the talking point of alpha male because the alpha male comes from studies that turn out to be false about what it means to be a wolf. And when we figured that out, we just put the information out there and I left it alone. So one day on Clubhouse, I was just thinking about it because I heard the term alpha male, and they were speaking about community, and I just think about it because the wildlife preserver is the wolves. There is a community. Don't get it twisted. That is a community. Keywords a community, not the community, but a community. That's where the term alpha wolf came from because there was a one leader when you're in a confined space, a controlled environment, to say the least, which is ultimately the zoo. So this is where the leader comes from, and that's ultimately where the word alpha male derives. And we can talk about later why the humans like comparing themselves to animals, and not that big of a deal, but we can talk about that later. So when L. David Meck, the author of The Wolf, actually went to the wildlife and realized there is no such thing as an alpha wolf, his studies were wrong because everybody moved as one. It's one community. Everybody knows the assignment. Everybody needs to move in this direction. No need for a leader. No need for someone has to be the star of the community. We already know our assignments. We just go do it. That's the epitome of a community. So that's the community. In the controlled environment, that's a community. When you get to the real world, real actual life, nature, that's the community because everybody knows. What do black people always tell each other? Stay on code.
10 toes down at all times.
10 toes
Blackly
down.
black. Yeah.
Yes. In the nature, the wolves already do that. That's why they don't need an alpha male. They don't need an alpha wolf because we already know what to do. We don't need you. You do your job, I do my job. Everybody eats and everybody sleeps at the end of the night. When you're in the zoo, the wildlife preserve, controlled environment, there has to be somebody says this is where a leader is born from a controlled environment. Somebody is pulling the strings. This is where when you get to the conversation about free will, if free will exists or not, free will exists in the wildlife. Where in the zoo, There is no free will because something's already in control of it, of your decisions, of your outcomes. If I had to choose, as Black people, we should be in a wild versus in the zoo. So this is why the term since alpha wolf bred the term alpha male, I will have to say that's anti-community because look at all the strings that's attached to it. Whereas in the wildlife, that's obsolete. That's not necessary. Here's the things that here's all the codes of the community. Which reminds me, I need to send you a list of those codes, by the way, because we'll talk about that later. Here's the codes that Black people should live by. Play your position. Trust that everybody else plays their position. Everybody's gonna do their thing. 7. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, sweetheart. So
shout out to 7. What up, sis?
So with that, that's why I say alpha male might be anti-community because that's not the real community for Black people.
Gotcha. I got a few questions. So
sure.
In the wild, we talking about nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how things in the wild have free will. Here's where the testament comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
Is living in the wild about free will or is it about survivability? Because survivability does not outshine nature or lifestyle. Survivability is all about surviving. In the human world, we're not out here mating to survive. We're mating to reproduce to keep the bloodline going along. In the wild, they're mating, one, because that's just what they do, but more so ever, they're doing it as a release to get away from what it is that they do on an everyday basis, which is hunt and gather. We don't hunt and gather on a daily basis. We go to work. Don't get me wrong. We go to work and we make money. We procure funds to be able to sustain a lifestyle, but in the wild is different because they don't have a base zone, such as with the whole alpha male concept when it's dealing with the
Hey Brown, how you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing good. Is it your birthday? If so, happy birthday to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, right now I'm on we're doing a simulcast. I'm on YouTube as well. Me and my brother Cellular, we're having a conversation. You're more than welcome to stay on stage.
Okay.
No, you're more than welcome to stay on stage and tune into the conversation and chime in whenever you feel, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right. My bad, self.
No, you're good. So, but yeah, in the wild is all about survivability. In human nature, we're not out here hunting and deleting just for survival. We're just trying to sustain what we have. So even when it comes to community, I don't see a community of people going out hunting down other communities of people unless we talking about certain factors or sections of that community. You kind of teeting the line on this, but I still don't see how that would be a new thing because we do that on a daily basis. We go to work, we procure funds, we use these funds to sustain a house and to feed our children and to also invest into our life to push along that. In the wild, they don't do that. It's we teach you the certain skills so you could be able to live, and then you better not stay around too long because 60% of y'all not gonna make it past birth. Once the turtle lays the egg, hey, you better make it to the water because if you don't, you're on your own.
That's biology, nature. But here's the thing: two things can be true when it comes to wildlife and wildlife in comparison to the the preserve, because there are some commonalities, yes, between the two. However, one is a controlled environment, and let's just, lack of a better word, it's a controlled environment by white people. White people control this environment, and within this environment, Black people say, "I'm the alpha male." You're the alpha male in a white man's environment. Whereas in the nature, it's just you and your community, and you guys are moving as one. You guys are already staying on code, and you guys have your code to stay by. And I would say that's more so the community for Black people. And we had, historically speaking, we had that before in this country. So I'm with all these references that we had previously, one is more community than the other. So if you want to call yourself an alpha male, which I already debunked because that's not because real wolves don't have an alpha male. They all move in a pack. They all move as one. In a controlled environment, has to come an alpha wolf. From a controlled environment, meaning if this quote unquote white man did not exist, we will all be moving as one, as they do in Africa right now, as they do in the Caribbean right now, where as they do in other continents outside of the U.S. right now. That's what I'm saying. So I do believe in this. Now let's transition to this modern time. In this country that we're in, we can still move like we are in the wildlife, because like I said, everybody has a code, everybody has a foundation, everybody has a principle, everybody is obedient, which transition to discipline. You can do that right here, you can do that right now. But if you choose to be alpha male, you can. That's your prerogative. But keep in mind, there's something about everybody playing their position, whatever position they decide to play, because like I said, all foundations are different. Like, for example, you and Raw have a different foundation than anybody else. So as long as you guys' foundation, whatever you guys decide the roles are, that's your foundation, and you guys should live by it. It's better than the reason why we're doing this is because the white man is above us. The white man's pulling the string. Ain't no white man controlling y'all too. They ain't got the money to.
Absolutely. Can I offer you a perspective?
Yes, sir.
In the human world, we live in an organized environment. As a matter of fact, we manipulate nature to our benefit so that we can construct these environments. In the wild, they live in an environment which is constructed by nature that they cannot manipulate. You see what I'm saying? So even when it comes down to relationships, people
say that one more time. You said in the real world. You say say that one more time.
In the real world, we live in an environment where we manipulate nature to our benefit. And in a wild, they live in an environment which is which is constructed by nature. The difference between the human world and the wildlife is that we construct our world. They just live in a world that's already constructed by for them, or that is manipulated by nature. We manipulate the nature in our world, and they have to live within a world that nature manipulates. That's the two differences. And even when it comes down to relationships, we manipulate relationships. We construct foundations, and we change all these different aspects when it comes to how it is to exist within a relationship, what a relationship is. You have poly relationships, you have split marriages, you have divorce, you have separated. In the wild, it's either you the strongest male that is going to get the female, and then you take over, reproductive rights by either winning the attention of that female or just taking over that female. One of the biggest things is that there's no such thing as grape in wildlife. You see what I'm saying? Not to also include in the wildlife, such as even within the pride of lions, they delete the young when they take over the pride. That's not something that's welcomed in human society. In the animal kingdom, I don't know if this happens with wolves, and I don't know if the new wolves delete the pups of the previous alpha, but that's not something that's welcomed in human nature.
Lions, I know lions for sure. I'm not sure about wolves.
Bears do it. Bears definitely do it.
Bears, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Lions for sure. Wolves, I'm not sure. I wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not quite sure about that. But I'm gonna look into that one. But the premise of the argument is, well, granted, like I said, I debunked this a long time ago. There's no such thing as a alpha male because it's predicated from the research of an alpha wolf in a controlled environment. And the assumption is that's how all wolves move, but you only knew about that because you researched it in the zoo. Then you have to go into the real world, the wildlife, where you have everybody at its natural core, and everybody moves as one.
Absolutely. But you know what? And this is something that I was thinking on long and hard last night. Actually, it's been something I've been thinking on long and hard for quite some time. I'm going to be using a few terms here, so if I need to stop, then just let me know. But
you know, I don't care about that. Go ahead.
All right, so we all know what an alpha is. We even understand what a beta is. We understand what a sigma is. What I've never heard no one talk about in this whole relationship, gender war aspect conversation that's been going on for forever, no one has ever talked about an apex or an apex predator. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to an apex, for some of y'all that may be hearing this, an apex will be Godzilla. A fellow apex will be King Kong, but also another fellow apex will be Mothra. Even when you talk about in the real world outside of fiction, an apex predator would be a grizzly bear or a brown bear or a polar bear. They literally will hunt down anything, and they have very few challengers other than their own species. In the human world, we have too many people who pose as apex gurus of relationship conversations, but they haven't generated anything that is apexually consistent with their talking points. Because when it comes down to an apex, their word is law, whether they're right or wrong. Too many times within a relationship conversation, everyone wants to be right because they can never be wrong. That is the biggest problem.
See, but the thing with the apex, you will have to. There's nothing you can present to an apex that's going to say you're wrong or there's some flaws in how you're moving. No, I'm an apex. There's nothing wrong. Unless there's something above an apex, I would like to know. But if you are the apex, you are lack of a better term, alpha and omega. I can't do no wrong. There is no wrong because I'm not only the strongest, I'm also the smartest. And I've already planned this out ahead of time. So I'm always right in every single thing I do. So I can be the apex. There's only and when we talk about dating gurus, there's no dating gurus in these spaces. There's not. The closest thing I could think of, honestly, is probably Anton, and that's only because he got 20 plus years on people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name neither because we only know that on Clubhouse. I don't think we know that on YouTube, so I won't mention his name. There's somebody who's been with his lady for 16 years. So he will be considered in an apex about when it comes to not dating. Well, we don't believe in dating. To marriage, about what to look for, what do you want, how does this benefit you, what's your ROI in all of this.
Can I disagree with you for a second? So the thing about apexes is they don't need an introduction because even when they're unknown, they will be known. Such as an apex roar. An apex roar in the animal kingdom is you can be 5, 10, 20 miles away, but the roar of an apex animal will let everything in the vicinity that hears it know I am the king in charge, or I am the head honcho in charge. By the way, there's nothing above an apex when it comes to hierarchy. Yeah, sigma, beta, alpha, they don't even approach the levels of what an apex is. They're just stronger than everything that's below them. And in the relationship conversation or relationship space, there is no one that's an apex. And I can easily prove this because everyone, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, because I brought up Anton and the other brother. I'm not gonna bring up his name. I'll text you his name. But those are the only names I can think of, but they're not technically this space, quite frankly. So I would say there is no apex predator in these spaces at all.
There can never be an apex. There can never be an apex person when it comes to human behavior or relationships other than God. That's it.
Of
And
course.
since a lot of people either denounce or they weaponize, misunderstand, and misuse God's words, then no one will ever be able to reach that. Everyone in that particular form, whether it's the community or some of the culture or some of the country, everyone will always be challenging everyone. That's why there will always be more alphas that exist that will never be identified as an alpha than they can even try to even claim. Everyone always, I'm the top dog. I know what it means to be in a relationship. Don't go after this woman. Don't go after this man. Whether you sisterhood, brotherhood, manosphere, divester, whatever. No one is truly at that level because the majority of people who are married or who are in happy relationships, they don't have time for individualistic single people conversations. Go ahead.
Oh no, I text you the name of the person. I'm the only reason
My
I'm
phone
saying
did,
that.
big homie. I would have sent you that. I would have sent you that cash up already. My phone did. I get to
Oh,
it.
Jesus. Nah, not
I,
is that wild. But no, I text you the person name because I don't know if he said it on YouTube. We found out through Clubhouse, but I didn't want to say I didn't want to put no one's business out there on YouTube. But yeah, I agree with that. As far as the apex, I have no problem saying God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit is the apex predator. I have zero problem giving that title. Now, as far as this, like the alpha male comparison, just on what people, excuse me, what people believe, what their definition of an alpha male is, they already don't live up to those standards already. They already don't. Then on top of that, we don't even want to get, like I said, you introduced the idea of apex predator, which is actually leads me to wonder, as braggadocious people is in the space, I'm surprised they didn't come up with apex predator. But then again, they will be leaving themselves open for a body shot because you might be highlighting the apex, but what about you? What about your movements can be seen as predatory? Because I'm the one that's because well, here's another talking point. It's having leverage predatory. I had that conversation a couple of weeks ago. It's having leverage in a relationship predatory because you are like for a minute you have all of this. She can't tell you nothing. She can't say nothing. You can literally do whatever. Like I said, this young lady, this is her story to tell. I'm not saying her name. She got involved with this one guy. They decided to move in. They decided to move in together. She decided to sell all of her stuff, move her and her kid in. He was, of course, creeping around and just trying to leave. He was like, "You can't leave. You sold your place. Now you're stuck here. Now you got nowhere to go. So now you're relying on me." Thankfully, this woman got her own money, own job, so she was able to get out of there. But the idea of using leverage beating leverage over these women's head. I'm using that example because of the space that we're in. Using leverage and beating it over these women's head, but like, because I have this, you have no choice but to acquiesce to my demands. That's why I ask, is having leverage in a relationship predatory? So go ahead.
In more ways than one, yes. But you know what though? That the record what's going on, April? That recognition of that leverage only exists in a human capacity, or only we acknowledge it in a human capacity because we have this cavalcade, or we like to put our belts around our shoulders, and we like to put notches in our belts and say, I accomplished this, I did this. And the wildlife, they don't have a belt, they have scars, but those scars actually have meanings on it. They actually have real effects on them, such as one of my favorite kings of a pride, which is the lion pride. His name was Scar. Scar got his name because he was literally missing an eye, but Scar ruled a pride for about, I think it was like somewhere like 15 or 20 years or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. The problem with Scar was that he got old. So there's no one like that in the human capacity where we could say that my experience was so deep when it comes to relationships. I have an actual living scar that's affecting me on that level, and hence why it is that I should not be challenged on anything that I say until I get elded. You see what I'm saying?
That's the craziest thing. It's funny you say that because we talk about who can hold you accountable because that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Absolutely, that's the point. Go ahead.
Me and me and a friend of mine, we was having this conversation earlier, sometime this year, based off of what I've been through, and obviously I have my close circles of people. Based off of what I've been through in my lifetime, especially the last 12 years of my life, there's no I said to myself, and I have probably articulated this publicly, there's not a single human being that can hold me accountable and live to tell the story because of those battle scars that I have. And not only that, not only the battle scars, the things that I have said 12 years ago still holds true till today. So I have that mindset. Wody, what's good, man? Appreciate you, man. I had that mindset like, you need to have the same resume as me to hold me accountable. And that's only if I allow it. Now, obviously, there's close people in my circles, only a handful of people where they have my phone number. You have my here's a clear sign of who can hold me accountable. Do you have my phone number? No, you can't hold me accountable. Unless I tell you can hold me accountable. I got 3 OGs on Clubhouse. Black man who used to he's the one that gave Kevin Samuels the stats that he used on the show. God rest Kevin Samuels' show. Black Coin, him and I was talking the other day regarding stepmothers. We'll have that conversation momentarily. And unapologetically Black. He's the finance guy that I know. Now those 3, no, actually one of them do have my number. Those are the 3 exceptions. Anybody else, you need to have my number in order to hold me accountable because you're in my circle. Anybody else, I don't want to hear from not one single YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever streamer to talk to me. So that was me. I just want to throw that out there because it's funny that you said that because I have made that declaration. I was like, some of y'all can't even tie my shoes. Y'all ain't been through the shit that I've been through.
Let me evolve that for a second, right?
Yes,
Because
sir.
when it comes to people who are sigmas for specifically, stigmas definitely understand and acknowledge the fact that accountability is something that does indeed exist, but you have to be either next to me or above, or I have to recognize you as above me to be able to hold me accountable. That does not include a parental figure, because I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people where they get it mixed up is they try to use the Bible and say that thou shalt respect thy parents, and if thou disrespect thy parents, then they're not held within a good standing with God. Well, to majority of sigmas, I won't even let my mama and daddy disrespect me. You see what I'm saying? Like that accountability is something that's completely different, because if you have an illegitimate or disrespectful parent, just because they're your parent does not mean that they're always going to be the one to respect you. Now, if you have a respectable parent and they're just guiding you the correct way, then that's one thing. But you have to be able to have that status, have that position. Just because you gave me life does not mean that I have to withstand everything that you say because it's disrespectful. But that's another problem though, because we're talking about sigmas. When we go down to alphas, this is where I got hung up in your talking point yesterday. We're talking about alphas. What alphas do, they choose what's disrespectful. Even when it comes to a parental figure, your parent might tell you you can't do this or don't do that, or be quiet, or follow my rules, or if this is my house, these are my rules. That alpha may want to challenge their parent, like, well, I don't have to do what you actually, yes, you do. If your son came up to you right, if your son came up to you right now and said, "Daddy, I ain't got to go to bed just because you said go to bed," he gonna get a response that he ain't expecting.
Yeah.
But in the Sigma's position, it's just like, son, it's time for you to go to bed. Oh, I'm gonna go get in the bed, but I ain't going to sleep. But I don't have to tell you that. I'm gonna just do what I want to do. As long as you're doing what you're told, the parent doesn't care. Now, let's evolve that into the relationship aspect. Who can hold you accountable about your relationship? Only the person who you are with. But if the person who you are with is not someone that you respect, then you're not going to listen to what they got to say. If that's the case, why are you with them?
That was going to be my next question. Why are you with somebody you don't respect?
Exactly. So in the relationship space, how can anybody make these arguments of, oh, if your woman not doing this or if your man not doing this, then I expect all of these people to be single and remain single for quite some time. It's funny, they lose all of these alpha talking points once they get into a relationship, because now they recognize that the things that they say they can be held accountable for outside of their relationship, because people are going to be have that perspective with them.
That's true. That's 100% true. And that's why when you sit back, you listen to these conversations, if you can stomach to listen to those. I can only tolerate a few minutes of it, then I gotta go. But you'll see that something about your points, something about your principle is not adding up, because a principle is supposed to be utilized anywhere and everywhere. But if you get into a relationship, that's when your principle changes. I find that to be quite odd, and based off of their standards, that's not alpha like. Just based off of their standards, that can't be.
Yeah, that's because they're posing.
Yeah, most of these people on here, I have been said they are pretenders at best. At best, they are pretenders. It's copy and paste, or as the originator, you saw what's going on here. Hold on, let me check something. We still live? We still good?
Yeah, it looks like we're still live on YouTube at least.
Okay, cool. So when it comes to these talking points, that's all they're doing. They are copy and paste, or maybe this is what I want to live like. So I'm a portray that I'm doing this. It's fake it till you make it, and only to make it and to revert back to what we know you to be. And now this woman has committed to a fraud, essentially. So that's where all these stuff go out the window.
Absolutely. And once that particular YouTube couple, which we don't need to name names, that particular YouTube couple, individualistically as a single person, even if what they say is wrong, them having the freedom to say it, someone can believe that they're right. But once they get into that relationship, those talking points go out the window. You can't be a married man preaching about outside relationships. You can't be a married woman preaching about outside relationships. That goes against the edict of what it is that you're talking about. Prescriptively, this would be the wrong prognosis that you would give someone who is seeking whether or not if a marriage or a relationship is even beneficial to them, because you're going against your own perspective. How can you be married and say, man, it's better to be single? Well, why ain't you single? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like what's stopping you from, if you just came to that realization and clearly your foundation has changed, so why are you not abiding by the new foundation and leaving your marriage?
Absolutely. Now we go back to that old school song, practice what you preach. How can I listen to you if you're not doing the thing that you're sitting up here telling me to do? You see what I'm saying? Like, I think even when it came down to it, and I might be out of turn for speaking this, but this is just something I picked up on. This is my perspective. How can I be mad, or not how can I be mad, but how can I have agreements with the things that Kevin was saying with the way of how he passed or how he lived his life? I can't agree with that. Not as a person who's in a relationship. Now, when I was a single man, oh yeah, I understand Kevin. But as a man in a marriage, No, I can't. I don't agree with that. And in those instances, when people is on that type of time, I just don't listen. I just don't listen because that's not the type of content that's geared towards what it is that I'm trying to elevate.
Right. And I
Mhm.
don't have a problem with that. See, I'm more so. Do you have the right answers? Because I don't have time to um, look to see if you believe in the things you say. Because if it makes sense, if it adds value, if it helps teach you how to go, that's all. That's ultimately what I'm looking for. Now, in the case of Kevin, how he went out and what he was preaching. That's like I said, that's a fair statement, and I can't fault anybody for feeling that way. Like you can't be talking about marriage, but you're living a single life. I mean, I get it. And like I said, that's fair to some people to say. I looked at it as you have the answers, the right answers. The only reason why I know it's right is because married people have said this is correct. So you can make the argument that although he was accurate, there should have been a better spokesperson instead. And that's a fair statement. I can't take that. I can't take that from anybody. Maybe Kevin Samuels shouldn't have been the spokesperson pertaining to marriage, but I would say who then? Obviously, the one thing that he did do is when it came to coaching, when it came to that marriage part, he passed it. He passed those students on to another coach that actually does that marriage stuff.
Absolutely.
So at least he knew his limitations. I'll give him that. Kev knew his limitation. Like I'm gonna send you the Anton over there. He knows he can get you with that.
I'm glad that you brought up that word limitations. This is something I stumbled upon a long time ago. I said the most dangerous man in the world is a man who does not know his limitations. And the most dangerous person to that person who does not know their limitations is the person who's trying to establish limitations on them. In other words, Crystal J, as a man, you can only do this. In other words, accountability. You're not supposed to do this. In other words, accountability. But here's the problem. I'm dangerous to you because I'm trying to tell you what to do and how to live your life. But you're dangerous apexually because who are you to tell me what I can and cannot do? Talking point wise, if I don't want to name no content creators. I'll just put this in a private chat for you so you can catch on to what I'm talking about.
All right, cool.
All right. So the first name that's in that private chat, that's the person who's trying to put limitations on the talking point. The second person in that chat is the second person that I mentioned in that is the person who's saying, "Who are you to try to put limitations on me?" And when you think about the message that these two people speak, it is a clear distinction as to who it is that's trying to challenge what someone else has and who does not care about that challenge. I think that's the biggest problem that we have in this whole not just this space, but this whole conversation about relationships, because everyone's trying to challenge the standard, but they're not producing any exceptions.
Challenge the standards, but not produce any exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't have no problem. I don't have no problem with that. And granted, was not producing the exception. You don't want to always look to the exceptions of the rules of those type of people. We understand they do exist, but we understand they don't exist in the masses.
Absolutely.
Like for example, when it comes to relationship,
Mm-hmm.
as far as that age gap conversation goes, um I guess the best practice, my previous practice was my mom and dad is 9 years apart, so that's about as good as it gets regarding
Mm-hmm.
me talking to somebody. Whereas somebody came up with the better idea, get your age divided by 2, and that's 7, and that will be your gap. So for me, based off of that, I'm 38 today. Based off of that math, the lowest I will talk to anybody is 26. 26 27, 28, 29. Obviously, those are the exceptions of the rules. I need mine to be 30 and up for a lot of reasons. But I know that those. So what's that mean? 25 and younger, those chicks are underage to me. Yes, 25 and under is underage. That's an automatic hell no. I'll pass you on to my homies. That sounded crazy. Sorry, ladies. But between the ages of 26 and
truth.
Hey, yeah, I know some young homies that will be great men for you. Just not me. I'm too old for you. I got salt and pepper. Got salt and pepper. Not doing that. But by that metric, obviously between the ages of 26 and 29 will be the exception to the rules. However, am I going out this front door looking, hypothetically speaking, am I going out this front door looking for a 26 to 29-year-old or anybody in their 20s now? Because I will be like, where was I at to run into them at my 38 old age? Like, I had to be somewhere I probably didn't need to be at, looking for diamonds in the rough. And that people are always looking for the exception because they believe there's exception. No. And it's like, nah, I'm a regular guy. I know my limitations. 30 and up is my goal. 30 and up.
That's because people aren't comfortable with the standard, right? The standard is that it's an acceptable notion of what the age gap is, even if it's by that whole 7 years thing, right? But then you look at principalities, you look at countries, you look at counties, you look at states and cities and all this, that, and the other. It's an understood, unsaid or a non-spoken word basis of what it is that's acceptable culturally, as far as when it comes to the age gap thing. This is why the age gap conversation or the age gap talking point will not, does not, and will never not ever work for everybody, because culturally it doesn't make sense. For someone over in Japan, that age gap conversation don't mean nothing to someone that's in Texas. It's two different places, two different cultures. You see what I'm saying? It works for America. It might work in the UK. It might work in certain cultures, but there is no grand talking point about age that everyone will follow, because if that standard is there, that first name that I gave you, then the exception is going to be, well, I don't want to exist within that standard, the second name I gave you. And that is where the two will always butt heads.
Right there, I was gonna butt head. And also, there is no, I had this conversation on IG because when I wish I could pull up a link right now, but I should have had that video ready, but it's all good. I was talking to Yums, shout out to Yums from Clubhouse, because we were talking about the idea of, I'm never gonna not date a woman because she has children. I'm never going to say I'm never going to get with somebody because she has children. I'm never going to say that, because you don't know what she has to offer that can offset the idea of having children. And the reason why I bring this up, because somebody in the comments asked me, what offsets can a woman bring that will justify you being with somebody and her little humans? And my response is, there is no one size fits all answer. There will never be no one size fit all, because, like you said, depending on who you are, where you're located, and what your beliefs are, the foundation is always going to be different. It's always going to be different. So because of that, I let him know that I can tell you what the offsets are for me, but they might not be the same for you. And that I'm not going to put my beliefs, my standard on you, because I don't know if you can carry that load respectfully. You're on mute. Dude, I can't hear you.
When people are asking questions like that, I'll boil it down to this. Either you're looking for confirmation bias, or you're trying to validate a feeling or a perspective that you already have. If you want to date someone with children, do so. If you don't want to date someone with no children, then do so. I think the reason that a lot of people ask these questions is because they're afraid about how the people in the real world or on social media is going to perceive them. Because we all know that when it comes to this whole stepdad, stepmom understanding within the culture, is that you're a fool because it's a lose-lose situation. So you might love the parent, or I love him because he's good with his kids, or I love her because she's good with her children. But everyone else on the outside is going to be looking at you like, man, you look like a fool. You messing with a woman that's already been touched. It's just like, okay, so then what's your recommendation? And once you get into that murky conversation, that's where you find out that people is crazy.
Oh, because let's get into that murky conversation, because I can put this right here, right now. Because you say the fact that you're touching somebody that already has a child is wild. Okay, you want women with no children. How young do you really want to go?
Exactly.
So yeah, let's have that uncomfortable conversation. This is where the predator. This is why they can never call themselves an apex predator, because I get to highlight the predator part of the talking points. How young do you really want to go when it comes to finding a woman without kids, or even worse, finding a virgin? So when you're dealing with women that are in their 30s, good luck. Good luck finding a virgin. Good luck finding one without a child. That's just unrealistic. The numbers does not favor for you. Does not work out for you. So unless you're going to be Paul in the Bible and completely devote your life to God and leave these women alone, we know you're not going to do that. So stop playing. Stop lying.
Well, this is why I said no one will ever present themselves as the apex or the apex predator, because that comes with some there is someone who tried to present themselves as the apex. But you know what happened? Social media what happened. Social media is what happened. They had this thing called cancel culture and Me Too movement, right? But you had someone who was completely unchained, unbound by these cultural constructs that people came up with. My prime example of a great person who's a great representation of an apex would be Jack Johnson. Before I think he was the first black heavyweight champ in the boxing world. Jack Johnson. This is why they created the Mann Act, because he was messing with white women and bringing them across state lines. He didn't care. He didn't care what the law said. He wanted what he wanted. He got what he wanted, and it was what it was. And a lot of people the only way that they could take him down was by the legal system. But other than that, as far as just existing, that's someone I would look at as just like how they live their life. Now, talking points wise, there's no one who has presented that standard, because it would have to be a standard that's so conceptually true that on a consistent basis that it cannot be disproven. Even if it is wrong, it's still right. And that doesn't exist. Like when I hear about the black woman is this or the black man is that, there's always some fallacy to it, because all of these talking points is presented in a salacious way that they have some type of truth to them, but also they're based in a bias or a validation or confirmation bias. You are saying these things like, give me a talking point. What's a talking point you can just pull out the hat right quick?
Man are leaders, man protect, man provide, man pay all the bills, blah, blah, blah. That's
but not all men. You see what I'm saying? Not all men. Just because you can be there, even a broke dude can be in a home. Does that mean that he's a provider? No, he's just there. Even a well-trained fighter can protect the family, but if he can't produce anything, what is he providing? You see what I'm saying? So all of these talking points have a fallacy, whether it's against or for males and or females. It's going to be impossible. That's why this challenge is so crazy.
and that's why when I listen, I was like, I can see so many things wrong. Like, let's get to the step parent thing, because we were talking about this morning. People have their reasons why they don't want. Why men have the reason why they don't want to be a stepfather. And instead of stating the obvious reasons, people like to fuck the audience just to see who comes first. I don't want to take care of a man's child. What happens if they say you're not the daddy? What happens if the woman say you can't discipline, you're not their daddy, and all this other goofy shit? I tell them this. Whatever you're about to say for the step parent, I can easily say that about on the biological side. They said being a step parent is a thankless job. So is being a biological father. Kids are going to grow up to say, I hate you, Dad. Oh, I hate you, Mom. And don't call and check on you every day, send you to the nursing home. Thankless jobs. From the time they're little all the way to their adults. You get that from your biological children. So to say that's exclusively for a stepfather or stepchildren is wrong. Because we see, honestly, we see more biological situations than step-parent situations. And based on what happened on the biological side, it can also happen when it comes to being a step-parent. You take that chances because the commonality is you're a parent, they're a child. Whether they're yours or not is irrelevant.
Absolutely. Edie, man, what's going on? So I got a story to tell you. As a matter of fact, this is a story that was just told to me recently by a distant family member of mine because we was having a conversation.
E-Man, pull up. E-Man, pull up. Yeah, I think you'll appreciate this conversation. Pull up real quick.
Most definitely. So we was having a conversation. This is a distant relative of mine on my father's side of the family. And I was pretty much getting a family history. And she was telling me that when it came to her father, because she got pregnant at the age of 15, when it came to her father, once her father found out, he was furious. Okay. He wanted to come back to the house and he wanted to create a new definition of the word ass with her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened is that her grandmother got in contact with her father, who was at the hospital, and her father respected her grandmother. Like there was nothing that her grandmother could not say that was wrong to her father. But this is the grandmother on her mother's side. So her grandmother called her father to the hospital, and he showed up there. He in a tornado, he in a tirade, he mad. And she said, if you go to that house and hit that girl or discipline that girl, I promise you, you will be in this hospital and you will leave this earth the same day I do. He said to her, if I can't discipline her, then I don't want nothing to do with her. She said, fine, I can accept those terms. That day, he went home, walked past my relative, packed up his clothes, and left her siblings, and her mama, his wife, left the house. She did not see her father again until about 25 years later. That's how convicted he was in his position of, if I can't discipline you, I don't want nothing to do with you. The difference between a paternal parent and a step parent is a step parent has to earn that right to discipline. A parent has that right to discipline.
Even then, because ideally that will be let's get to the step parent side. In a way, that is true, but I can also say you might already had that right to do so, because here's my take. There's not a child on this world I can't discipline. Correct, discipline, whatever word you want to use. Not a child on this world I can't. But that's because that's how much influence I have on children already. Now, when they see me, whatever they think, whatever goes through their head, it is what it is. I'm not worried about that. It's that when you're messing up and I see you fucking up and that type of stuff. J man, what's good, man? Yeah, I'm gonna say something, especially if you're in my circle, my this circle. Yeah, if your kids are tripping, you already know how I get down as a parent, or just how I get down.
You about to get that action.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it leads to that. It's going to happen. But more times than not, I'm already going to pull up. I'm going to pull up on 5. Not on 10. I'm going to pull up on 5. What's going on here? All right. You go over there. I don't want to hear none of y'all talk. Especially when your mom is over there doing something. We're not doing that. Y'all need to stop. Or your pops is in the other room handling some business. Y'all sit here and relax. There's not a child I cannot do that to. Nor have I came across. I'll say this. I can say this in confidence. I have not came across a parent who has got in the way of me doing that already.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a parent, we already want the same thing for your children and our children. And guess what? I leave room for if Grayson, like you and Ron are obviously aunt and uncle son. If he wilding and y'all two check him, what am I going to say? Nothing,
Right.
but thank you.
But this is what I mean, right? So even in that situation, right? Not saying that this person, hold on one second. Excuse me. Check your back chat. So not saying this person will ever be a stepfather to your child, but does that person have entitlements to discipline Grayson?
He does not have entitlements to discipline Grayson because he have already shown what he has done with his kids. Now, he has, go ahead.
Discernment, character, and judgment. You see what I'm saying? So this is things that parents must take into account. You allow people who you entrust with guiding your children down a correct path that will evolve them, not digress them. So in my situation, right, I have quite a few people who I've ran across of in my life. They said, well, if it came down to it, I know Will to look out for my children. I will look out for your children before I look out for you because you're an adult. And if you can't handle yourself, you can't handle it. But them children, them babies,
Right.
they can't handle themselves. You see what I'm saying? So that's always been my faction. And that's how it is that I've always kept my standard, how I kept my perspective, how I kept my position. But there's certain people in this world. I don't care if you the best person in life, if my judgment of your character and of your discernment does not match up with what it is that I want for my children, you can't discipline my child. I don't give a damn if you're a millionaire, billionaire, best person in the world with 2 white wings on your back. I don't care. I don't like you. You ain't disciplining my child. Man, what up, though?
E-Man, back on the BTSI show. What up, man?
What's up, big dog? I'm just listening. I don't know, man. Maybe I was raised different, man. I got whoopings from my aunties. I got whoopings for everybody. Like, I was a bad kid. You know the problem I have with a lot of male parents, right? I don't know if I want to say fathers, right? The problem I have is you act like your kid ain't bad. This is the problem. That you act like your kid ain't bad. You done whooped your kids 7 times. Now you mad because another nigga done whooped your kids. What are we talking about? Like, this idea, like, it'd be different if I hear it out when people like, my child ain't never got a whooping. They never did nothing to get no whooping. They don't deserve no whooping. Maybe you question that. But you beat your kid every week because they don't want to go to school. And now you mad that your child in another man's house getting whoopings. Like he literally just doing exactly what you would be doing if you was there. So I'm against it. You know, I feel this right here. The reason that I made sure I was married before I started having kids, I wanted to be the man that was heavily involved in my kid's life. But I feel like if you got another man, and I heard Sel earlier saying a stepfather got to prove himself to discipline. He proved it once she said I do. Once they got married, because a stepfather is when you get married. We ain't talking about somebody who playing house. And so once he get married, the proving is over. He got just as much parent rights as the biological parent. And I'm the type of person is if that person now I get if you don't want if a woman said I don't want my boyfriend touching my kid, that's cool. They not even have a covenant with God. I'm not talking about them. When you start talking about a stepfather, someone who done made a covenant with God with that woman and they done became one, guess what? He got the right to whoop your kids, especially if your kids is off the chain.
Right. But here's the thing though, Edie, man. I say this to people all the time. Me, you, Christopher J, and the majority of adults, we're existing within the realm of logic. We're talking about the minority of the majority who don't exist within the realm of logic. These people literally live on the basis of that you should give me sex just because I paid for your meal. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of people who have this understanding that, oh, well, I'm dating your mama, so I reserve the right to discipline you physically. No, you don't. You don't reserve that right. Just because you're dating don't mean nothing. But when it comes down to these relationship talking points, Eden man, I'm glad you up here. There's no way that anyone can produce anything new, even when it comes to the step parent conversation, because it's an age-old conversation. Most step parents back in the olden days became step parents because the parent passed away, not because, oh, the baby, the mother and the father just broke up in relationship. No, the other parent passed away. There was a standard on actually being in a relationship, because the majority of people who got married in those days didn't even have children until they got married. Like, what are we talking about?
I agree.
Mhm.
I think we just gotta get back to the point is, and I get it, like, cause I get what dudes are saying. I don't want to make sure that my child is not being abused or taken advantage of. I understand that sentiment, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But when it comes down to that woman and got married to somebody, like I said, I'm not talking about he there for the weekend and now he want to be the disciplinary actor. I ain't talking about that guy. But she done married that man. When she say I do mean that I do allow you to discipline my kids.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but you gotta evolve it, right? In today's day and age, that can be a standard. But then what's the exception? The exception is it's actually multifaceted. One, you got to stop having children out of wedlock. Two, no sex before marriage. And three, marriage should only equals sustainable marriages. You shouldn't just be getting married to someone just because you want to have sex with them. Or you shouldn't be getting married to someone just because you got them pregnant, because then you're going against the first thing that we already discussed, those sex before marriage. The problem is that the majority of people does not want to follow this because they already have problems with contractual relationships. This is where the whole debate comes about of, is marriage worth it, or is it beneficial to either the man or the woman or to both? See how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Well, marriage is beneficial for the whole family, right? We gotta be clear. I was having this conversation with my wife. Like the person who is hurt the most by divorce are children.
Of
Children,
course.
children. Like if you ever, I don't know why nobody on YouTube have did this, but I don't understand why we don't get divorced kids to have this conversation. I don't want you to talk from the parent point of view. I want you to talk about how your life changed from the kid's point of view, right? And I think a lot of people, they fear marriage because they don't want to be like their parents. Hey, I don't want to end up separated. Trauma come in from saying I don't want to be separated. I don't want to put my kids through quote unquote what I went through going through a divorce. Like my parents got divorced, my wife's parents got divorced, and we had this conversation about, how was it? Because when my parents got divorced, I was at a younger age. She was more of at a teenage, but I thought that it affected me more because I was younger. But I think teens are really affected by their parents separating, especially if they've been married for a long time. So it just come down to who's the beneficiary. It seems like the kids are the loser. The point that I'm making is the kids are the loser in all this situation. If the kids they had the kids to a baby mama, they're a loser. Their parents divorced, they're losers. The only time it seems that kids win is typically marriage or remarriage. That's when the kid get typically the best benefit.
I agree because when they had these stupid ass conversations about who benefits from marriage, men or women, my answer has always been the children. The children will always be the biggest benefits to marriage. Matter of fact, this is another conversation I'm gonna visit down the road about who comes first in a relationship. And a lot of people like to put kids first. I'm the type of person that believes if you want your kids to be first, put them second, because whoever's in first is doing all the work, while anybody after that is the beneficiary. That's why I think kids are the biggest benefits to marriage. So I
So
say put
so
them
who come first? Answer that question. Who do you
I
think come?
outside of God, correct?
Oh, God. So you think God come first, your spouse comes second, is what you're
Can I
saying?
can I
Right,
can I
because if I
actually?
put all right, I'm glad you said that because if I put God first, my wife and my kids are the beneficiaries of me putting God
Mm,
first. So when it comes to the aspects of the marriage, if I put my human to be that, if I put my wife first, the children are the will get the benefits of that. So just like you put the side. Let me not go there.
can I
That's
ask the question this way?
parlay.
And this is a question that I asked somebody. I said you're hanging on to your spouse, regardless of whatever gender they are, and your children. You only got two hands, so you got one hand on your spouse, you got one hand on your children, and they're dangling off a cliff.
The
Who do
right,
you?
yeah, the
Yeah,
right answer, the
Let
right.
both of them go. I just play.
damn.
Gotta save yourself, shoot. You might got a bad back, bro. Still, you gotta let them both go, man. Shoot.
I hate this guy.
Hey, hey, I got a bad back. I'm sorry, Daddy. Love you. Hey, I'm gonna do the best I can. But when that thing pop, I gotta let y'all go. Why should we all go? Like somebody gotta live to tell the story. I'm just saying. But
Oh
no,
man.
I asked this question of a female one time. She called into the show, and we was up there for about a good 7.5 hours. And it was a simple question. In this scenario, who do you pull up? And she said she would pull up her children. I said, okay, so you would pull up your children. I said, why would you pull up your children over pulling up your husband? She said, because my children is going to love me and take care of me. I said, but yeah, but so I said, think about it in the aspect of this. You can have more children. You can't have the same husband. And she was like, well, that's perfectly fine. And I was like,
Well,
amazing.
that's crazy though. Hold on, no, listen, slow down, Sil.
Go ahead.
You said that her kids are going to love her and take care of her, and her husband already love her and take care of her. And
That's the
her
point.
children haven't even proved that they're willing to do that.
Thank you. That's the point.
Yeah, because you're going based off an assumption now. Ain't no
Assumption versus
guarantee.
reality.
Like those elderly in the nursing homes. Yeah, I don't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If
Go
that's where you
ahead.
want to end up, go right ahead. Or nobody coming to visit you at your old age when you're at your house by yourself.
Bro,
I'm
when
just
you
saying.
land, when you sitting up in the elderly home, looking out the window that you've been looking out of for the past, I don't know what, 6, 7, 8 months, and every holiday, everybody else's parent or everybody else's kids and family members come to visit them, you just staring out the window, pressing on that one key on the piano, ding, ding, and ain't nobody coming to visit you. These people, this is the way they think, and this is when I hear people say this. Oh, I'm choosing my kids. Okay, you're
Well,
right.
I didn't have a chance to talk to a lot of empty nesters, right?
Mm-hmm.
They year like usually when a child turn 18, 19, really 21 is what we see empty nesters around this time, right? After they might have went to college and they go off into their life. A lot of parents, what we don't talk about, are distraught. They don't even know who that other person is because they've been putting their kids first, right? See,
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to start having a mindset. Our kids are leaving what post me and my wife supposed to be until death do us part. So I need to put
Absolutely.
God first, just like Chris said. I put God
Mm-hmm.
first, and and we purposely tell our kids, "Hey, check this out. No, mom, your mama come first. Like when I come into the house, you know what I do? I kiss my wife before they get a kiss on the cheek, right? Because they
Mm-hmm.
need to know that it's an order to these things, right? So yeah, no, and then you're teaching your kids something. People don't understand, especially if you got little girls. You're teaching your daughter that when she get married, she should be put first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people understand what they're teaching their kids. Like if daddy always putting the kids first, then what does that make her when she become a wife? Second?
Mm-hmm. So here's
So
what she did. Here's what she did. That same female, I asked that question. She said, okay, well, let's reverse the situation. Your wife is holding you and she is holding the kids. She said, what happens in that situation? What do y'all think my answer was?
you kick the kids and say, baby, pull me up. That's what I thought you were saying. Get those kids. You go to the other end. Hey,
No, I let go.
That's the right answer.
no,
I
I
let
ain't let
go.
go.
No, I'm
I
letting
ain't
go.
gonna let go. I ain't let go.
If my wife is holding me and holding my children, I let go.
I don't let go
Damn. So you would keep
unless
the kids?
we don't hang off cliffs without parachutes, so we all
Shut
jump. Nigga, I was in the army. Shoot, we'll jump with our parachute. What are we doing on this? I be like, what are we doing on this cliff, Lord? I spent too much time with you that I'm sitting on this cliff right now. How did we get here?
Y'all
No,
got there because it was an act of nature, and y'all just happened to end up on the side of the cliff. And
oh
your wife
no.
is holding you and holding your children. What happens in that situation, either man?
I think I'm just gonna say, let us all go. Let's go.
Damn.
Let's go to heaven together. All
But
three
your
of
All
us.
wife
this
Let's
happy
just
family.
still gonna be
See, man.
alive.
jump, baby. Jump too, baby. We all
Jump.
go to she couldn't handle the weight, Lord. No, but the question that we asking is we only could pull up one person. Who do I let go? I think I would make the bad decision. My bad decision would be I wouldn't let neither go unless I fail.
Sacrifice yourself to say no.
I just wouldn't let neither go. Like, cause the act of letting somebody go mean that I have to make a conscious decision to let one die. And that as a man, I believe I will not make the conscious decision to let either go. So I'm gonna hold on until I'm done.
Now,
What?
this is why this conversation came about. I don't know if y'all remember this stupid ass question from years ago. If a woman is in the forest, who does she pick between the man and the bear? Y'all remember that stupid shit?
Yep.
And the women chose the bear.
No,
And
they
the only
didn't. That
yes,
was
they
that was
did.
that was for social media. Listen, I'm telling you, they chose the man every time. How you
No,
think we populated this earth? They
they
kept
chose the
choosing the
bear.
man.
They chose the bear. They said we would choose the bear because at least the bear won't physically assault us sexually. Yep, there it is. Women say they fear men more than bears, but send love letters to criminals in prison.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it was literally clickbait though. I'm telling you, if women was in a situation that they had to choose, they would choose a man because they want to get their rocks off.
Fight Club. I don't know what you're talking about, big homie.
How'd that picture get there? My bad.
No, see, and that's the thing is like when we sit on this YouTube, right? Sometimes we ask questions and people give us the imaginary answer. They don't give us the real answer, and we take that and we run with it, right? So, like the one question that I strongly dislike in this space is, in a perfect world, what type of man you want?
Oh my
Listen,
god.
you ask for her to be unrealistic. Describe this man that, like, even men, if you ask men, describe this woman, it's not gonna be the woman that they actually with, because now they're playing with monopoly money or monopoly faith is what I like to explain, right? It's monopoly faith, it's not real. And then they're like, oh, these are their standards. No, this is if they was on 2K build a relationship, who they would build. You know what I'm saying? They got to, but in reality, hey, let me tell you about the last couple of people you dated, because that's typically the person you're gonna be with, right? So, and then what we do is we try to do it. They say, hey, well, this is the standard. Women want men that's 6'6". And I was like, well, they never dated men 6'6". Stop lying. That's not what they want. That's not what they're willing to be with, right? And so I think we just got to change the perspective. If what is the minimum you willing to take instead of the maximum? Because a lot of in this space is always a maximum conversation.
Absolutely. But you know why it is that what happens in these spaces is always about a maximum, because it's about something that they on the one never have or new, or two, they will never put forth the effort to achieve. You don't really want no 6'6", 6'6". You don't want a 10. You just like to imagine what a 10 would be like. You would just like to imagine what it would be like to be with a 6'6", 6'6" man. You don't truly want that because it comes with different type of rules and standards and engagements and all that. You don't want that, because if you really wanted the 1% man, you have to understand that you have to play a position. This is why I don't understand when they complain about gender roles and all this, that, and the other. It's just like, wait, y'all are asking for the things. Y'all say there's no such thing as a good man, yet you want a good man. But your definition of a good man is a man that's in the 1%. But that man that's in the 1%, he don't live by the same rules or play by the same game that the man that's not in the 1% play. So which one is it? Do you want to be? And they can't give a clear answer. And that goes both ways. Most men say that they want to be with a 10. You don't even know what it means to be with a 10 because most 10s don't exist. There's no such thing as a 10. The only thing that's a 10 is a 10 to the person who looks at that person.
Right. It's a 10 to you.
Exactly. Because what's ugly to you may be beautiful to me, and what's beautiful to you may be ugly as hell to me.
Shout out to the big women.
Where did that come from? Chris, I want to know what he said all that. What made you think of big women?
No, because he's absolutely right. And when it comes to the beauty standards, it's subjective. Anyways, I understand there's those professional, what do you call those people? I know professional models, but those coaches who say based off of these metrics, these are 10. I'm not talking about that because that's the objectivity of a beauty standard, and a lot of people's not living by that rule. Whereas there's some people, it's fair game. Like some people say the ideal woman is 120 pounds, 125 pounds.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Who said that?
My
What
nigga,
black person? Listen.
Thank you.
Quite a few people.
We is on the same page.
Quite a few people has made a lot of money off of that talking point. But when you challenge them on that talking point, a lot of them be like, "Well, I ain't really mean what I said. It was just cool to say." Exactly. So you don't believe in what you say.
What black man you know right around here talking about 120 pounds is the perfect weight? I don't know none.
Unfortunately, there's this place.
I know a few.
There's this place called Clubhouse.
No,
there's a lot.
Those are bots, bro. They are bots. Those are not real people, bro.
They're no different than people on YouTube. And I'll take the back. They tend to take it to a 10 because there's a couple of people caught a body on Clubhouse. So that's a story for another day. But there are some people who believe that is their beauty standard. Whereas me, I don't discriminate. I don't.
I discriminate. I think we all agree what ugly is, so we all can agree what beauty is.
No. I'm specifically talking about the size of a woman. I'm talking about that now.
Oh, big girls. I know you're a chubby chaser. I can see it in your eyes, Chris. You look like you.
I'm 300 pounds.
But stop right there. My thing is, right, and this I had this conversation. Again, I'm not gonna mention the names, but I had this conversation with a few prolific people who participate in these relationship conversations. My thing is, you can't say that we all have to live by European beauty standards when people in Europe is ugly as hell. Let's just be honest. These European beauty standards that most people are trying to live by, they only last for 3 years. At year 1, you're at peak European beauty standard. At year 2, you're 50%. At year 3, you're 15%. Everything after year 3, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Now you got to get body alterations. You got to get adjustments. You got to go to plastic surgery and all this, that, and the other. That beauty only lasts for so long. So why are we driving ourselves into the grave trying to achieve something that's only going to last for temporary time frame? It's unimaginable. So when I hear people say, "Oh man, a girl got to be fit, feminine, and friendly, 120 pounds," bro, shut up. You don't even know what to do with a 120-pound girl. Most of y'all,
I'm a holder for the police.
That's it. I'm gonna grab her by her wrist and I'm gonna say, "You ain't going nowhere."
So, what's the biggest you'd be with, Chris?
Oh,
I honestly don't have a.
So 325.
I have not came across anybody where I was like, that's the weight limit. I'm not going across anybody this size. I have not met a woman
385.
I haven't met any woman that's 385.
You never met a woman in your life 385.
Because even not only have I not, I can tell you why. I am heavier than the people that look heavy. I'm a lot heavier than the people that actually look heavy. That's the thing. So she may look big, but she may be 180 between 240.
Stop it. 180 don't look big. Where do y'all
No,
get
no,
this
no.
from?
No,
I
When
don't
I
know
no,
see
no,
where
no.
women
I'm
that's
I
talking
don't know
about.
where they get
I'm
180,
this
talking
from.
about. No, E-Man, follow me. I'm talking
what are we
about
talking
the.
about?
No, I can really say this. I can honestly say this because hold on. Let me do this.
Have you
Can I
seen somebody 180?
hey
Oh,
Crystal
I
J,
do.
can I stream this right quick? Are you okay with
Yeah,
that?
go ahead.
All right,
So
cool.
look at me. This is 310 or 312 right here.
But you 6'9".
Appreciate it, but I'm 6'1".
He is not no
So
damn 6'9". What the hell?
I'm just joking.
yeah, so I'm 6'1". This is what 318. This is what 310 looks like. A solid person for the most part. Whereas somebody who is much shorter and is probably between 180 and 240 look like an offensive lineman. So that's why I said how can I say, I am heavier than people who look like they're heavier than me. It has
So
always been like that.
hold on, no, I'm trying to understand. So 180. So what do you call big? Because I thought 185 wasn't big, especially for a woman over the age of 28. So
If you listen to the talking points, they say anything over 130 is considered a big girl.
yeah, we know but they want children. We ain't talking about the guys who want to date children. Listen,
Say it again. That is
we not talking about that. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out what do we consider big because I know a women that's 185 and they're thick. Like we always call it. Maybe because I'm from Georgia.
Simple thing, my man.
That's
280
normal.
shit.
See,
Hey,
Southern girls,
280.
that's just normal, E-Man.
Hey,
I agree.
280 she a lady. 250 she can get with me, but I'm a happily married man and I got mine, so I ain't worried about it.
So, but that's what I'm saying is like I didn't see a whole bunch of like because who are these women that are so single? Like that's another conversation I want to have. I don't see a whole bunch of women that don't got men.
Elaborate.
I don't see a whole bunch of women that don't have men. Like so, do I see a whole bunch of women that don't have husbands?
Mhm,
Yes, but most of the women I know got men in some form. They might not be married,
mhm.
but they got a man.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out when we start comparing people to the past, it's not these large group of single people just sitting around miserable like we think that is on the YouTube space.
That's because people are not sitting around miserable. This is outside of social media. People are not having relationship meetups, problems, conversations, other than on a very, very personal level. On the internet, people come to the internet to say salacious things about the opposite or same sex, depending on which way you swing. They only do that because they want to become viral. They want to become a sound bite. They want to become a clickable thing to where they can gain some fame from saying something cool. But the majority ain't nobody out here in the real world saying that I gotta be with a 10 because they willing to accept whatever comes their way. This is an example that I gave. Most dudes, when they go to the club or they go to an outing between 8 and 10 o'clock at night. No, yeah, I say 8 and 10:30 at night. The so-called 10s is leaving the club with the 1% men. Between 11:30 and 1 o'clock in the morning, everything from a 5 to an 8 is leaving, or a 5 to a 9 is leaving. From 1 o'clock in the morning to when the bar closes at 2 o'clock in the morning, anything below a 5, any dude will take. Especially if he out there like a squirrel hunting for a nut. He don't care.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that it's a lie. I think average women getting chosen every day. When you go see these average women, like I'm just saying, maybe people don't go on dates. I'm getting ready to go. We going to the Dave Chappelle. I wish I had a camera. Matter of fact, I might record it and send it to Raw and say, I'm gonna show you all these average people on dates at the Dave Chappelle show. It's gonna be like it's not tens around. Like I said, this
Mhm.
whole arena is gonna be filled with average people. And then I come to YouTube, they be like, average people can't find no man. I was like,
They lying.
I
They're like,
said, do y'all not go to Olive Garden? Do y'all not go to
No.
Red Lobster? Do y'all not go to all these places where these average people are out having a good time? And both of them ugly. To me,
Average
it'd be a,
people, there's more people, there's more average people in relationships than unaverage people will ever be able to even find a relationship, because most people who are above average don't want to be seen with people who are average. You see what I'm saying?
Tell Edelman I said, because these raggedy ass niggas wish they could qualify for tens, but they don't.
You heard what she said?
I heard it.
See
Tell
what
him
I'm
thank you.
saying?
Tell him my baby said thank you for her uncle and auntie once again
Oh,
for
she
sending
said,
her a gift.
Edie Man said, baby said thank you once again for the gift.
Oh, of course, that's my little baby. I love her.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, like this whole that's why I said, I don't know, Edie Man, if you caught what I said earlier, but there is a challenge out there. There's a bounty on the talking point. And my bounty is that whoever can come up with a brand spanking new talking point that ain't never been heard or used before, within the next 2 weeks, or 2 weeks ago yesterday, so 2 weeks ago Saturday, you have to introduce a new talking point that has never been used or heard of before. And it's a $200 bounty. And so far, Christopher J introduced a talking point where he said that the alpha male is anti-black or anti-community. I said, no, we've already been down that road before. But
I got one. I got one. I
what's your
know because
talking point?
it's my talking point.
What is
And
it?
nobody ain't said it because it's my talking point.
What is it?
SIMP stands for I don't agree with the host on YouTube.
That's
I don't
not a
agree
new
with the.
talking point.
I don't agree with the what?
SIMP mean on YouTube, the host don't agree with my talking point.
That's not new.
I don't agree with my talking point.
No, I
Okay, let
don't
me
agree
run it
with
back.
the host. I don't agree. So if you sit up here and say right now that if you say a talking point, I'd be like, nah, Christopher J, you wrong about women. The black woman is God. And then you'd be like, well, you a simp. And I only said that because I disagree with you. Well, you only calling me a simp because I disagree with you.
Did I do a video like that?
Yes,
Nah,
you did.
you do no video like that.
Yes. It's
Something
called
about the
his,
Simps and the White Knights or something. I'm gonna have to go check it out. Sisters in the building. Hey, Ron, let me look this up.
Hey,
how would I look this up? Hold on.
Let me see. So hold on, define talking point sales so I can make sure I get that $200 to my charity.
anything when it comes to relationships. Like, okay, I'll give you one. Angry Man gave me a talking point yesterday while I was live, and he said that he said something about the physical standards of black women. No, something about black women gaining weight as a form of abuse against black men, something like that. But I told him, I said, no, I already heard that talking point because I already had, and I can quote the name of the person who I had the conversation. It was with Platinum Elite. And I was like, yeah, already, that's not a new talking point to me. He's like, damn. So there's nothing that people is producing on a social media level or even in the real world where it's
You
nothing.
haven't heard it before.
I've heard it all. I've not heard nothing new.
Christopher J, happy birthday.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I love the Wakanda forever. It's Broken Berlin 3. Here's a question for you. When women were just running around here with their afros and no makeups, weren't they above average then? Well, that's a stupid ass question that you just asked me. So you thought you was being slick, but not every woman that you see today wears wigs and makeup. So I really don't understand what the question is. And every woman that wears wigs and makeup takes it off when they're in the house. And most of them got men. I'm confused.
Still waiting on that new talking
point.
I think dudes are going, man. I know we live in this lying world where they be like, dudes ain't going. Dudes gonna go if they got makeup on. Dudes gonna go if they got a whole bunch of clothes, a little bit of clothes, designer clothes, no clothes, pay less, apple bottom jeans. Most dudes just going nowadays.
You want to know why most dudes is going? Because you understand that as she gets older, beauty fades. Most dudes is going, bro.
Most people are not single. They are in relationships that they don't care to put you in their business about. Let's be for real. Like, y'all be talking about what you think you know about relationships because you're single. For the longest time, and my husband can tell you, and my two brothers on this panel can tell you, For the longest time, people in this space swear to God I was single. Oh, nobody wants you. Whole time I was in a relationship. It just wasn't your business. Facts or not, gentlemen?
That's a fact. I got a talking point. Men need to start going after women with money and start breaking with these broke ass hoes.
That's literally a well-known talking point. What you talk about?
No, it's not. Who said it? Who said it? You told me you was gonna tell me who said it.
Cheeky house husbands, 2023.
That was
I was about to.
2024.
It don't matter. It was something that's already said.
No, Cheeky ain't got no woman with no money.
It don't matter. It was a talking point that was already used.
Well, I got one. Let me think of it.
Go ahead, take your time. No one can produce. No one has produced it yet.
Most people are single in regards to not being married. They're not single in regards to not being in relationships, situationships.
That's a fact.
A relationship is a relationship. You still single in a relationship. You ain't.
That's not true. So
hold on. I'm trying to make sure I word this correctly.
Yeah, I was just
You're not single in a relationship.
Well, I was trying to make sure I word this correctly. Most people don't acknowledge your relationship until you're married, because anyone that's just said you're a boyfriend, girlfriend does not mean that you're stable, because they still can go out and be with anybody. You're not held to a standard of anything. Socially, it's wrong to cheat on your girlfriend, but at the same time, there's nothing to tie you to your girlfriend. Marriage-wise, contractually, yeah, you can't cheat on your wife.
No, you can't.
Yeah, that's a bad talking point.
I had to go quickly listen because I did a talking point debunk the White Knight and the Simps, and I don't think I somewhat think I touched on that briefly because I was called. I'm not gonna bring Discord conversation on what Discord, whose Discord I was in, but I got accused of being a White Knight or a simp or something to that degree. But when it comes to dealing with women, you understand if you're looking for that 8, 9, or 10, they're already gonna have a bad attitude. So that's something you're gonna have to learn how to deal with. How the fuck are you not a simp, or how the fuck are you not a White Knight?
You want to know if you're gonna be called the simp, Chris? If you got a woman. The men that got the women are the simps, and the niggas who jerking off at night, they call them the real men. That's a fact.
And then they say, beware of women that talk about a real man. And to what's his name? Broken Berlin. Again, I'm not gonna go with your emotions. I'm just gonna hit you with a little bit of truth. Christopher J, can you share the screen?
Oh yes.
Only 31% of people are single. 69% of people are partnered. And of that 31%, 15% are not looking. Only 15% of single people are looking for relationships. So what you want?
Yeah, a lot of them born again virgins. They don't found the Lord, so that's why they ain't looking for no man. That's why they ain't got one. But the women out, I'm telling y'all, the women out there who want a man got a man. Now, does she want the man? Does she got the man that she want? That might be a whole nother conversation. But
absolutely,
right. And then we're not even going to talk about the LGBTQIA couples. But that's what you said earlier, baby, about, oh, well, if you're boyfriend and girlfriend, that's not considered a relationship. That's not true. Because if you live with somebody long enough, you're considered what? Common law married. So there is validation to being in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
But that's only in places where common law is recognized.
I get it, but
in places where common law is not recognized, you still boyfriend, girl. You're just housemates. You're roommates.
No, but Shell, it would be crazy to say that I just got a woman 7 years ago and I didn't have women my whole life. That's the point. It's like this idea that I've been single until I got married is a lie. I always had women. So like that's what I'm saying is it's a lie to say that these people are single. No, these people have just not committed to marriage, which is a totally different thing of being single. Like we gotta start just driving the in between.
But again, y'all are existing within a realm of logic. I'm talking about the realm of stupid people. The realm of stupid people is that they are the one that's progressively pushing along these ideologies as if they're the truth, which they're not.
And but with that, so you're right. There are a bunch of restarts, and I appreciate you and Rob sending me that word because that has been my go-to word. Just calling people a bunch of restarts. Those people who are stupid, it's like, why am I? At some point, I gotta hold myself accountable. It's like, why am I giving you airtime to spill your spill your tomfoolery on me?
Because you bored.
I
Mhm.
If I'm bored, no, that's fair. And it's like if I'm bored, I know people who are just as smart as me, if not smarter, I can go listen to, and we can have these conversations day in, day out. I talk to somebody like maybe 5, 6 hours a day on the phone, and we can have these conversations. Versus, I spend 5 or 6 seconds listening to a bumbling idiot who just is attempting to. And this is another thing that pisses me off when people who have a deep enough vocabulary, damn word salad. Like I said, you're fucking the audience to see who comes first.
No, but you gotta understand, busy and smart people. I mean, smart and intelligent people are busy. People who are dumb have a lot of time. So if I want to have an 8 hour conversation, I'm typically not going to be able to have it with some smart, intelligent people because they're typically busy. So you know who comes to the panels typically? The idiots, because they have nothing else to do. So that's why we have conversations with these slow people, is because they have the most available time to talk.
Well, not only that, because it's a trauma bond, and people fail to really acknowledge the significance of trauma bonding in social media spaces. If you want to feel bad about being single, well, just come to social media because there's a whole bunch of other people that are going to also, you know what I'm saying, feel bad with you. It's commiseration. And it's unfortunate, but whatever. Like, people don't want the solution. They want to continue to take the poison.
You want to know why? Because solutions mean that I can't complain no more. Solutions means I can't grift no more. Solutions means I can't continuously complain about a problem that's persistently there or consistently there only because I am the one that's bringing attention to the problem. Because if I solve the problem, then it's there's a finite answer or way. There's an apex way to solve a beta or alpha problem, and they don't want that.
No, it's really much simpler than that. What
Oh,
it really
Sal,
is,
that's you.
yeah, that's me. I was doing something. What it really is this: if I acknowledge that I am the problem, then that means that I have to be the solution. If these men and women said, "Hey, I'm choosing poorly. Hey, I have a bad attitude. Hey, I can't manage relationships. Hey, I have some psychological work, some shadow work that I need to do so that I can be healthy to get into a relationship mentally." I maybe have to stop being in the club. I maybe have to stop, you know what I'm saying, being a whore in the streets. And ooh, either man, I'm gonna have to holler at you because I need you to. Well, now I ain't gonna make you come do that show with me. But I see something today about your people, honey, and I'm gonna be covering it. Um, it's just a
Somebody
bunch
talking
of.
about me today? Hello. We were. Somebody talking about me today?
No, I said I saw somebody tell your people,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Tell me. Send me a link. So I can.
Santa
Oh,
baby.
Mm-hmm.
oh, real quick. No,
Hmm.
I said, Sal, this that members for you. Shout out to Bob Riggs has correctly joined Sales channel.
Oh no,
Appreciate
that's a
you.
moderator. That's a moderator.
Correctly joined the channel. Gotcha.
Babe, you're on mute. If you're talking, nobody can hear you.
That's my bot. My bot controls anybody that's trying to use all caps in the chat. It'll time them out.
Gotcha,
All right.
gotcha, gotcha. Salute to No Chasers. I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I just think that if we just like kind of what we go back to Michael Jackson, he said this 30 years ago, Rob. You know, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Ooh, maybe we just need to start fixing ourselves And guess what happened?
Oh, so you saying people
hard to
should be
fix
more
yourself when your
accountable?
mirror's cracked.
Hard to fix yourself when you refuse to put up a mirror.
Ooh, that's good. Sal, they was telling me something. They said, do you know that people don't look at themselves in the eyes? They'll go in the mirror. They'll look at their hair. They might look at the pimples. They might brush their teeth. I was reading this report where it says that most people don't sit there and look at the true them in the mirror. I think people know that they would have to change, and I think change is the hardest thing for human beings.
Well, reflection is dangerous because if you already have a bad perspective of yourself, then you will only think that everyone already has a bad perspective of you. If you're not prepared for reflection, then you shouldn't do it. Looking in the mirror, you can look at your hairline, you can look at your eyes, you can look at your body, you can look at your shoulders, you can look at every aspect except for the thing that you need to be paying attention to, which is the whole picture. This is how they say you're looking at the forest for the trees instead of the whole entire forest or whatever. Hold on for a second. I got a kid. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
When the mirror speaks, the reflection lies. That's a bar.
Yeah, but Chris, that's what it really come down to is until we start getting to a point that says the reason I keep drawing bad women or I keep drawing bad men is because I haven't did the personal development. I haven't did the self-development. I'm not the person my person need to commit to. Until we start like really having those true conversations with ourselves, we're gonna keep drawing the same different things. And I learned this, a lot of men want to be in this state today where they want to just be in the honeymoon stage, the beginning stage of relationships. And that's why we see them go from relationship to relationship to relationships, because they are new to that person. They don't have to commit. They don't have to be able to develop as a man. So they try to stay in this non-developed
All right.
stage in relationships. Go ahead, Sal.
No, Rocky went ahead and finished it for me. When the mirror speaks, the reflection lies. My bad.
Well, this is the thing. Who wants to put in the hard work? It is hard work getting to know somebody. It is hard work to do the sacrifice of love. These people are stuck in Disney fairy tales. It is a sacrifice to love somebody daily. Because there are going to be days where they're going to wake up on hell. They're going to wake up on demon time. And you're the person to bring them back to center. There are going to be days when you're going to wake up on demon time. And they got to bring you back to center. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why invest that much time when you could just have a microwavable popcorn thing?
Hey Rob, my mentor told me this a little while back, and I thought it was funny. Some people was talking about like, hey, they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He said, get back in the bed and get out the other side. Like he was like, sometimes, like we accept things in our life that don't have to be our reality.
Amen.
Like we don't like you don't have to have a bad day. I know how people say, "Oh, everybody have a bad day." I don't have bad days. I have challenging days, but I don't have bad days. I don't have days that I'm not profitable in my business. Like I think people don't understand how powerful the mind is. If you start really understanding, you can draw to you what you believe. I think people can change their reality.
Exactly. That's why I'm about to change my reality right now. Now, either man, I'm on a little journey, right? But before I get fully on my journey, I'm going to need you to send me that cake, though. Like, what's up, though?
Which one you want? You want the strawberry cake or the peach cobbler cake? Because there's two different ones.
The
Peach
peach
cobbler,
cobbler
please.
one.
Peach cobbler. She don't like strawberries.
Yeah, so the peach cobbler cake was peach cobbler pound cake. You ever had that, Chris?
Mm-mm.
Well, I get you the 320, boy. Keep playing, man. You be eating up here at the E house. You want some cake? You want a cake? I ain't
Hey, I
sent the
ain't
cake
never,
in a long time.
I ain't never turned down no cake, sir. I don't know what you're
Yes,
talking
peach
about.
cobbler cake. Thank you. Thank you kindly.
Now, Rocky said, "Go listen to the lyrics of Cult of Personality."
Cult of
I listen
personality.
to it every single Monday when CM Punk pulls up. Listened to it over the weekend when he was at Survivor Series. Um, Let me just go to the lyrics. Let me see. Newsflash: I did not know Malcolm X did the intro to that song.
Absolutely.
And during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand. That, and I think I heard of that Malcolm X quote before. I could be wrong.
But Christopher J,
Mm-hmm.
what's up with this hat era? You've been pulling up looking like, you know what I'm saying? Black Panthers or something. What's up, Black Knights?
This has always been my style. I always keep a few of these. I actually have more of this way back when, but I just need to get back into suiting up my closet. That's
Chris,
all.
you want to get married?
Hmm?
He's-
Hmm? What happened?
he said, hmm?
Let me see what happened.
I'm asking, like, do you want to get married or?
What?
You got to say it in English.
Oh, I'm speaking that. I must be speaking that Asian language. You don't
You
understand
speaking,
me, huh?
you speaking Swahili.
Y'all leave him alone. He gotta think about it. He gotta
Let
think
him let
about
him
it.
dwell on it.
but why though? I think that's always going to be on the table. But why?
Well, it's just I think I like to just know if people want to get married or people just don't want to get married.
Yeah, I think people people always. I'll be perfectly honest. I think everybody. Not only does everybody want to get married as much as they claim they don't know that they're already marriage ready.
Nah, that's a crazy
Now,
take. That's a
here's
crazy take, that boy.
I can tell you how. See, follow me. I can tell you how people are marriage ready because, like I stated earlier, everybody has a different foundation. It's never going to be the same. And that's why there's no one size fits all.
You are out of your
People,
mind if you think these niggas that I talk to online is marriage ready. You are out of your
they're
mind.
not. I'll put it like this: they're not marriage ready for the woman that they believe that they're entitled to.
So who are they married ready for? The man? Like, what are we talking about? Hold on.
Stop
Slow
it.
down. Hold
Stop
on. We
it.
gotta slow this
Stop it.
conversation down.
Stop it. Stop it.
Who are these men? Look, no, we got it's some people that are marriage ready, and there's some people that ain't marriage ready. And most of the guys I interact with this, I say, thank God ain't no woman submitted to you.
Right.
Oh dang.
So
Well,
I would say this. So E-Man, here's the thing. Here's how I know that everybody's marriage ready because everybody doesn't go based off of the same foundation. They can only do what works for them, and by finding out what works for them, they already know that there is at least one person that can accept them for who they are and fit into whatever they got going on. That's why I always tell people I know some degenerates who have been married 5, 10, 15 years. Because granted, I'm better than both of these people, but because they found something that works for them, who am I to say that that's not a standard of marriage? Is that something I'm gonna hold myself to? Absolutely not. But they found something that worked for them, and they are riding that wave.
So why you think you're not married? I've been wanting to have this conversation.
Damn.
I'm trying to understand with you, Chris. I
That's a
kind
wild assumption. But keep going. I like where this is going. Happy Paul, dog, fam, bruh. Look, I know you cool people, but you gotta relax. You gotta relax. Oh my, hold on. What is wrong? Why?
Sexual seduction.
you've been
I'm going
stripping.
to kill you. I swear to you, when I get back home, you're gonna disappear. You're gonna be buried someplace when I get through with your ass. Ooh, I'm gonna get you for
It's a
this.
lot more. Why does this always happen to me?
So I'm trying to understand, Chris. Like, if you want to be married as a man, why do you feel that you have not accomplished it?
So, here's the thing: is marriage the absolute standard?
Yes, for our friends in our group. All my friends married. I knew Rob was getting married when she became my friend. It was
because
only a matter of time. I ain't know who, but all of my friends get
okay.
married.
Do you
So
believe? All right. Hold on.
That's true.
Do you believe if you're not married, you're a failure?
no,
So how can
you just not my friend.
no? Here's the thing. So if getting married, if you don't get married, and that's not a failure, then how could it be a standard?
Well, let me explain it. If you was to tell me that you do not desire marriage, that would be end the conversation. Because I don't want you to get anything that you don't desire. When a man tell me I desire this for my life, that's when the conversation start. So let me start from the beginning. Do you desire to be married?
I don't move off of desire.
What?
I do not move off of desires because a wrong decision is usually going to be made.
What?
So
Chris, are you making this up as we
it's not
going?
the ideas because I don't want to tell people that you need to go out there and desperately find somebody because of that
You
burning desire.
should. You should. That's the reason. If you got a burning desire to be with somebody, you should
you
go
get
out there
married?
and find
Okay, now
somebody.
let me ask you this question because I like this conversation. I'm not mad at it.
I'm just trying to understand, Chris.
It's
If
good.
I have
No,
a
trust me,
burning, hold
I like
on,
this
we gotta
conversation.
slow it down though, Chris. If I have a burning desire inside of me to be with somebody, why wouldn't I fulfill that burning desire? That doesn't make sense.
What then? My next question is: do you need to be married or do you want to be married?
If I have a burning desire, you need to be married. Listen, if it's now, if you don't have a desire for women, I'm not talking. I'm not talking to people who ain't got no desire.
Why do you need to be married?
If you have a burning desire, that means that God put in your heart that it's supposed to be somebody else you share this world with, you need to be married.
Did God say you need to be married?
No, you're missing it.
Yes, God said if you can't control yourself sexually and you have a burning desire for the flesh, then it is better to be married.
Actually,
Yes,
Paul
he
said
did.
that. Paul technically said that. But I
Well,
hear what you're saying.
God said it through Paul. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Right.
I don't know why we play these
I got
semantics.
y'all. I like where this is going.
No, because
Email,
we're not trying to push marriage on you. Hold on, I want to be clear.
I like this conversation because I think this is something that people need to hear us have, so they can actually go in there when they go home. They can actually just have an internal conversation with themselves, or maybe have a conversation with their family and friends, and like let's introduce it. Let's introduce this. Because now, let's talk about conversations that's not being had. Forget talking points. Let's talk about conversations that's not being had on YouTube. Now,
hold on. Let me give you an example. And I'm gonna put some of Rob's business out there and I tell her, forgive me.
Okay,
when I talk to Rob,
I ain't getting in trouble. Well, one second. What are we? How am I doing this? Solo? Boom. Wait a minute. How you do this shit again?
I don't.
And then click him. Click him.
Don't click me
it's
out.
Not working. Well, no. Why the hell is this not doing it? See.
Don't do it. Just go back. We was doing all right till you tried to use technology, Chris.
He said we was doing good till you tried to use technology.
I wish I was dressed because I get on camera to make the statement. When I talked to Rob, when me and Rob first met, I said, Rob, do you have a deep desire to be married? She said, I have a deep desire to have a husband. At that moment, I said, she's going to get it because that's her deep desire. I didn't know how it was going to play out, but anybody who have a deep desire or have a passion to get something, they should start walking towards that path. They shouldn't resist the path and go the opposite direction. So, and I'm not exposing all of her information, but what I'm saying is anybody on earth have a deep desire to be with another person, they should walk towards that because men are designed to accomplish their goals.
Usher had burning desire too, and look what he also has at the same time.
That's crazy. That's crazy that we want to talk when we talk about marriage and relationships. We want to talk about people having random sex with people. Ain't that's a crazy thing? Listen, it's crazy that we even tried to correlate those two things. I'm talking about, and Chris, like I said, you might not desire to be married because you still ain't really answered that question. You might want to live the single life. And I'm okay with people living the single life, but it's two different people on this earth. It's the people who want to be married and it's people that doesn't want to be married. I personally don't know one man who deeply want to be married who can't get married. That's why I asked the question. If you want to be married, why are you not married as a man?
So it's not necessarily me, or I'm asking for myself. I want to have the general conversation, because this is conversation I have in my personal life. It's something that I haven't translated to YouTube. That's why I'm glad that you brought this up. That's why we're having the conversation right now. It's not more so. I'll throw this out there. It's not if, it's when. That's number one. And number two, I don't think it's a good idea for people to get married off of necessities. That's why I asked you, is it better to need to be married or to want to be married? I think the right
Need,
answer, no,
need.
I don't
I need my
I
wife. I don't know why y'all weird niggas scared to say it. I need my wife in my business. I need my wife in my life, in my kids' life. We need each other for us to get to the next level of life. It's not a want.
What else,
It's
Sharon?
weird when people say that I gotta want somebody and I shouldn't need them.
Hey,
So
Sharon. Hey,
so
Tina. Hey, Omni. Go
so
ahead.
here's the thing. I think it's always
What up,
good
y'all?
to I think it's always good to be. I appreciate that, Sharon. Thanks. I think it's always good to be wanted versus to be need, because when it comes to needs, it's long term and short term goals. But either way, once all those things is accomplished, what is keeping them there? They can literally leave because they have already achieved everything
That's
that
crazy.
they
That's
needed, and
crazy.
they can leave. So
That's
versus
crazy.
when it comes to a want, that means there's something about you, female, that there's something about you that says, you know what, you don't need me, I don't need you, but there's something about you that makes me want to be here with you, and vice versa. So
That's crazy.
why not build off of that as your foundation?
That's crazy. Okay, let
No,
me tell you.
and for the record, email,
Um,
put email real quick before I go to prayer. Put God, religious, spirituality, put that to the side real
all
quick,
right.
because you and I, because
I
based off
got
of
you.
that we agree. But
I
I'm putting
got you.
that to the side real
You
quick.
sound crazy. Just because I needed to pay my mortgage this month, I still need it. It's an ongoing need. This idea that I
That's a
could just
necessity, right?
so no, but this I don't like when you painted this picture, you said, "Hey, I need this," and all of a sudden the need just disappeared. All the needs are gone. They just went into the air and the needs are no longer there. You typically gonna need that person for the rest of your life in some kind of
Why?
capacity.
Why?
Because that's how we was designed.
So okay, give me an example. Give me an
Because
example where, hold
because
on, let me set this up because I gotta ask you this question. Give me an example to where you need somebody in your marriage that you can't do by yourself as a single person.
Are you serious? Other things.
We're
What do
talking
you
about
mean?
necessities now. We're just talking about necessities.
Coochie.
Oh, okay.
I can't do coochie myself.
I th-
but it's not
oh, oh,
I
even
know, I know. I'll just let you know. Like I can say something that's just like profound, right? To make a point. But what I'm saying, it's not a single thing. It's a complex
check your
conversation.
cash app, black.
Liberace.
Liberace.
Okay.
No, the point that I'm saying is, it's not that I need my wife for one thing. I need her to be her. I need her to do all the things that she doing. It's not about a woman, another person cooking for me. It's how she cook with me in love and intention. Like that. That's what I'm telling you. It's like it's just a complex thing that we try to make very simple. But we should need and want our spouse. It shouldn't make it where I have to choose one or the other.
Shout out to Black Duck with the $10 cash app. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for that.
And this is the thing. You should
I
need your partner.
put the right emoji on there before he doesn't say anything else weird. Shout out to Bad Duck though. Real talk. Appreciate you, man.
You should need your partner like you need the Lord, right? You ain't never gonna stop
Absolutely.
needing God. And people, especially in this space, they always try to throw sprinkle in religion. But when God says cleave to your partner or cleave one to another and depart from all others, that means that signifies need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I said that's why I said let's put that to the side, because everybody doesn't believe in that. Obviously I do. So I don't, that's one thing. So I was saying to have a conversation, whereas do you need to
Okay,
be.
without the religious aspect of it, I got you.
Yeah.
So
So
here,
the question. So that's why I said, what is it? And obviously outside of
You need
biology,
you need her money.
I'll say outside of biology, because sex is biology. What do you and childbearing as well? What do you need
You need her
from?
money. You have a better level of life if you have
see,
her
the man's
money.
gonna be real petty with you. He just gonna be real petty with you.
You do need
You
her
need,
money. You
you
do.
need
And I promise you, you see your background. If you had a wife, will look 10
Said
times better.
said
Your
said
studio
said the
set need a woman. Look at the back. I'm telling you, she would have all. I'm telling you, had the right woman, you would have all kind of man cave, the Chris J sights and light ups and all kind of stuff back there.
no.
Christmas lights.
This is actually decent. And besides, I'm not gonna be here too
But
long.
you think it's
Anyway.
decent because you ain't got no woman.
But you gotta think. But you have to think. What woman will I tolerate that will not come here and accept this for already what it is? Like, what
Why
is
would you get with a woman, Chris? You don't understand the purpose. The reason you supposed to get with a helpmate is because she's supposed to make you better. Have you seen Cellulite like his whole background, his effects since he got with Rob?
Wait
It
a
was
minute,
crap.
motherfucker.
It was so crappy before. It, it was so crappy.
Hold the fuck on. Wait,
It
time
did.
out. Son of a bitch. Wait a minute. Time out. No. What
We
the hell
talking about
you
the
mean?
glow up sales. You gotta take it, sale. You just a bystander right
Sir,
now.
don't use the word take it and my name in the same sentence, sir. Please don't do that. All right.
take that, take that, take that.
Just stop it. All right.
But
No.
Have we missed the Cellulite glow up
Oh
on
my
YouTube
God.
since he been married? Like I don't know why we act like this is not a thing, Chris.
So
Chris,
that's
have you
no.
seen it though?
So
Have you seen it,
email,
Chris? Answer my question
doing,
first.
email.
Have you seen the
Follow me on
glow
this
up?
one. You're actually proving my point, because there's nothing wrong with wanting to be together.
He needed that.
Now hold on. You
Cell needed Rob.
Wait.
I don't care what he say.
Stop. 1 second.
His whole podcast
No.
needed Rob.
Email, you're missing it. You're about to miss it, because I knew who was. I knew who Cell was, and I knew who. You want me to put this up?
Yeah, you can. I came a long way, brother. Look what you talking about. I came a long Hey, my wife made this motherfucker pop.
But you were still as handsome as ever.
You see what I'm saying? And this was my very first stream I ever did on YouTube ever. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He looked confused. He looked like he needed a woman. Listen, I love Sarah, but he needed Rob. So, and I wish men to start saying, hey, you know what? I need a woman to get to the next level of my life. It's
You're
like
absolutely correct. But you hurt my feelings though.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, man.
It's the truth though. Like even and vice versa. Rob needed Sarah.
I needed
I'm glad
him.
that Edie Man is bringing all of this up. I really am, because you're focusing. There's a reason why I said want and need. I knew Cell and Raw before they got married. Did they need it? Hold on.
They both needed each other.
Wait a minute.
You knew what I know. They both needed each other.
You know where I'm about to go, and you know you backed yourself into a corner. So
no, I did not. I still stand 10
Raw
times.
and Cell need each other.
Yes.
Stop. Hold on.
Yes.
The answer is no.
See,
here's why.
You want me to say it in a different language?
Hold on, Edie Man, 1 second. Because now you're back in the corner now. Hold on. Because Raw and Cell were good by themselves. They wanted to get together. And you listen to their stories on how they got together, you know it's only because they wanted to be with each other. Now, being together, there were some benefits that came out of it. We're not negating that part.
You're wrong.
But that just comes with the benefits of being in a
Look at
relationship
Cell
with
camera.
somebody.
You
But
keep
to
saying that
say-
he didn't
hold
need
on,
to look
say
at the
that
camera.
they
He just
needed to be
showed.
with each other. They were good. But hold on. Let me
See, good is not
hold on,
enough.
back up.
Listen, good is not. Look, good is not.
So-
Look at his
so yeah,
camera.
there is
I
a
know
benefit.
Rob recommended a camera when she seen this camera. I know for a fact, Rob G said, hey, you cannot go on stream with that camera again. I'm about to send you something on Amazon because you can't be representing me looking like this. I'm telling you, bro, like that was a need. That wasn't a want, bro. Like
God damn, Eater man.
I'm just telling you the truth.
But here's the thing. So
But they
with all
needed
of
each
that,
other to be great.
no one with a straight face is going to say that Raw and Cell didn't there was no improvements when they got together. Nobody is going to say that. However, what I am saying is just based off of the quote unquote bare minimum, that means subjective, they were good where they're at. They're better now because they wanted to be with each other.
Let me help you
That's
understand
what
me,
I'm
Chris.
saying. That's
No,
what I'm
Chris, you don't
saying.
understand
The
what I'm
difference
saying.
between the needing and wanting. It's good
No.
to want because when it comes to need,
You're
matter of
wrong.
fact,
Let me
case in
explain
point.
it to you, Chris. Chris, we gotta have a conversation, Chris. Let's have a back and forth. So
Okay.
first, Cell didn't need anybody to be good. He needed her to be great. That's the point I'm telling you. He needed, you keep talking about this. Good
Say
is
it
not
again.
enough. He needed her to be great at what he do. So
Yeah.
that's a need. That's not a want, bro. What are you talking about?
The only thing about that is the process sped up faster, and nobody is negating that them being together made both of them
Chris.
better.
Hey,
Nobody
Chris.
is saying that, huh?
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wanted to be better, but I got being better faster because I needed her. You see what I'm saying? So the need for her got me to where it is I'm trying to go. And I'm going even farther than what it is that I was trying to go by myself. The best way I can answer this is this. The road by myself was manageable, but it's so much better when you have someone who's on that road with you. And that's the way I look at marriage. This is not just something like, the standard is that I have to. No, I needed and wanted my wife. And my wife makes my road that much better, that much more cherishable, that much more enjoyable, that much more blissful and blissful. So when you say, what is it that I can get in a what is it that I can get in a single life that I can't get in a marriage, is just like, bruh, it's a lot. Because even in a dating relationship, which is not a marriage, there's nothing that's tying you. That you don't know if that person truly loves you. And even in some marriages, you don't know if they love each other. But when you with someone who man, I explained it this way: the air and the water and food, everything is different when you're with someone who you need someone who you need and want, rather than someone who's just there. You see what I'm saying?
Right, and then that's where the religious aspect comes into play. Which, like I said again, I personally don't have a problem with that because I would agree with that. But what I'm ultimately saying is that you did not marry your wife because of that need.
Yes,
That's
he did.
what I'm saying.
But okay, so I let y'all talk.
Wait, who's I think
We
so.
all saying you wrong. It don't matter who go. Go ahead, Sel.
No, just sell super chat.
Bad Duck says, what did the big black guy say when the hat midget chick asked him for sex? I don't get down like
Why did I
hot
put this on the
midget.
screen?
A hot midget asked him for sex. He said, I don't get down like that. That's terrible. Rod, go ahead, baby. You was about to say something.
So it is a need, right? And it's crazy because part of the reason I was late is I was talking with my cousin, and praise God to whom all blessings flow, because she is cancer free. Amen, amen, amen. But yes, I was talking to her. Yes, about this man
my
right
bad.
here.
Hold on. I forgot they don't finally updated. My bad.
Go ahead, Rob.
So I was telling her about this man right here, and I needed him. I needed him to be safe. I needed him for my peace. I'm not going to put y'all all in the business, but people, they want anyone. They want anything. Something that just automatically catches their attention, piques their interest, is intriguing. But you need your spouse to be whole. It is the other half of who you are. And when people stop going off of what they want, what they physically desire, and they start letting their spiritual elements choose for them, then that's when you understand the need in a relationship.
Yeah, Chris, I'm just telling you, like, you know what really gave me this revelation? A business. We when I start in my business, we start asking our questions like, what do we need to go to the next level, right? And I didn't understand this until years in business, right? And kind of what you're saying, Chris. You said, "Oh, I could just get an assistant. I have a personal assistant because I'm a very busy person, right? I need somebody to manage my life, right?
I
That's
said
just
that.
no. Listen, just
Okay.
follow me. I'm almost finished, right? I when you were saying that you could just hire somebody, what can't you not get in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship? That's the comment that I was referring to, right? Or but let me explain what I'm saying.
Okay.
I had two different people. I had a woman that I hired as my personal assistant, and I had my wife be my personal assistant, right? The woman that I hired, she didn't have an interest, like she didn't have any kind of other ties to me other than her paycheck. So she did exactly what she needed to be able to keep getting her paycheck. Versus my wife, when she became my personal assistant, she started doing the things that fundamentally made my life better. She fundamentally did stuff on the clock, off the clock. She fundamentally, because she didn't want me to fail because me and her was on the same ship. So if my sink ship, we sink together versus that personal assistant that I was just paying, she can go somewhere else. So just because we can get these things outside of marriage is not equivalent to the things that we get inside of a marriage.
Well,
Do you understand that,
I'm
Chris?
gonna respond to that. Let Sarah read this wild super chat. You're on me, man.
I can't read that.
Fine. Is this a better one? I'm going to hell. What do you call a barn full of brown people? Antique farm equipment. You know what? Bad duck. Your racist ass. Your ass. Oh, I cannot.
Oh Jesus!
I couldn't read that out loud.
And Chris, me, and I wanted you to know there's something about me, right?
Mhm.
Me asking you, do you need or want a wife? It's not for me. It's not for Rob. It's for Sel. That's a question you got to look in the mirror and answer for yourself.
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that, and that's why I was having this dialogue. See, with everything you said, I have no problem with it. All I'm saying is that can be done without a wife. It's better that there's a benefit that you do it with your wife, and also when you guys get married, I know there's something called being interdependent on each other. So with there being interdependence, as far as your wife being your secretary, yes, you win, she wins. If she wins, you win, and everybody wins. That's a fact. That's non-negotiable. That's a non-debatable fact. All I'm saying, that's the only thing I'm saying is you can do that by yourself.
How?
So that way, so ultimately what I'm saying is this, because don't get it twisted. I'm not persuading anybody not to get married. All I'm saying is that you don't want to do it, don't do it because you're gonna fail at it. What I'm saying is, what are the reasons for you to get married? Everybody is different. I'm not gonna give anybody that one answer that's technically the right answer. I'm gonna let people actually explore and think about it. Why do I
Chris, you
want
got
to
to
be
answer
with
my
them? Or why do
question.
I want to be with them?
You got to ask, how can you do what I can do if it's two of us and one of you?
How can I do what y'all do
So
if it's two, this is one?
Yeah, because I have
I
48
can live.
hours. I have 48 hours. You have 24 hours. How can you do what married people can do?
I'll put it like this, and I have seen this, and I have seen this in this last year. Anything, and this is gonna sound nasty, those positions have been outsourced by other people or other people that can do it. Now,
You don't
here's
have
the thing.
enough money.
Here's the thing.
You don't have enough money.
Hold on. That's an assumption in this hypothetical. That's an
I
assumption.
know this for a fact that you don't have enough money to outsource everything a wife does. I know that for a fact.
People say that. People say that. People do say that. But all you got, if there's a market, then there's a range of prices.
No, you missing what I'm saying. This is not something that I think. For you to be able to do it, you have to be a millionaire to outsource as much stuff as a wife does.
Yeah, I get what he's saying because, like, okay, take for instance, right? For me, there's a lot of stuff that I do for cellulite every day. I am the secretary. Most days I am the chef. You understand what I'm saying? Laundry person, housekeeping. You understand what I'm saying? Personal attention, cuddler. You know, there's a lot of hats that a wife wears, especially when it comes to the kids. Then transportation aspects, financial management aspects. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're doing everything. If you priced out all of the tasks in your house, like if you put it on the task manager, the cost is astronomical. Wives don't get enough love. Hey, Gigi.
You couldn't outsource it like that. Like when I hear people say, "Hey, I could just outsource everything you getting for your wife," I said, "Bro, you would be broke."
No. Well, see, E, this is what you're missing. Because with your lifestyle, you can say that, but take me out of the picture, and I could put one of my mentors, Brian, who's an actual multimillionaire. He could say the exact same thing. But also, Edelman, think about, I understand your lifestyle, your livelihood, how your life is ran based off of what you tell us. Yeah, that's going to be a pricey ticket. But the question, here's another aspect. Who said that's a life that people have to live? People are comfortable with waking up, getting 8 hours of sleep. People are comfortable with going to work 8 hours a day. People are comfortable with going home and spending the rest of the 8 hours with their family and doing it all over again.
Can I pose a position? The question was about you, and you're making an argument about people and in general.
No, I'm keeping it general because that's inviting people into my life that I tend to.
I got you, but even if the question is personally about you, for a person who may be listening to it, I think the more so hits along within the mirror of why is it that you are not married, or do you want to be married? Are you taking the steps to actually get that husband and or wife it is that you are seeking, right? And when we listen to all of these different conversations about how, and I'm not saying
I get it.
I'm not saying that you're wrong for doing it. But what's happening is you got too many people who are looking for validation or confirmation as to why it is they should want to be married. It shouldn't be based on what anyone else's other perception is, because in more ways than one, what Edelman is saying is, and Edelman, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and my wife can tell you the same thing. Baby, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's no way that a dollar amount can replace who you are or could be as a husband or a father or as a mother or a wife. There's not a dollar amount that can replace that person. So, you know what I'm saying? There's not a dollar amount that can replace my wife. It's just not happening. You could give me all the money that I can think about, and that money is not going to do anything for me, because guess what? You look at most people who have umpteens amounts of money, and they have problems on top of problems on top of problems. But who's going to be there if all you got is the money? My wife is there whether the money is there or not. Thankfully, I'm not in the situation to where I'm so debilitated that she needs to wait on me hand and foot. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have her than to have something that's temporary.
No, I get that. I totally get that. So let me start. Let me answer the question. I always say it's not if, it's when. That's always my first response to the question. Now the question is, what would take somebody so long to get married? If there's some things that they want to take care of before then, let them do that. Some people want to graduate college. before they
Nigga,
get
you
married.
38 years old. It's your birthday. What are you waiting on? I don't
Well,
understand. Remember you called me up here, Chris. I was sitting in
oh
the
yeah,
chat.
because it was about the stepdad. No, I don't mind it. I totally don't mind it at all.
I'm just trying to understand at 38 years old, if you want to get married, what are you waiting on? 40? 45?
But the assumption is I'm waiting.
You're not waiting?
That's the assumption. That's the assumption without me giving you any direct correlation of what's really going on, because it's not if, it's when. And quite frankly, you don't know if I am or not. Quite frankly,
We don't
I'll
know if
say,
you married, is what you saying?
I'm talking about you guys. I'm talking about you guys.
Oh, we don't know if you married? I know for a fact you ain't married and you're not claiming your wife online. If not, we about to have a whole nother conversation, Chris.
Hold on,
Damn.
let me say that. Let me read this.
Damn.
Jesus Christ, Bad Duck is crazy.
Damn.
Yo mama so
His
white.
racism works both ways. I'm just letting you know. His racism is bisexual.
Yo mama so white. She stuck her out on the Rizzler and half of the Black America died laughing. Where did y'all find him at?
Listen, sometimes you just need that oddball, especially when they're an old oddball that's not afraid to say what they want to say, but they say it with money. So it's just like, all right, cool. You know, it is what it is. I ain't mad.
Okay. Okay, we gonna keep it moving. Shout
Hey,
out to
y'all, I gotta step down and get these kids together. But happy birthday to you again, Chris.
I
Um,
appreciate you, man.
I appreciate your perspective for the talking point, but since we've talked about it and I've debunked it, I'm still gonna get you for your cash up though. But happy birthday to you again, baby. I'll see you in a minute. Either man, it's always a pleasure, brother.
Yes, sir, brother.
All right, take it easy, y'all.
So, email back to what you're saying. I'm not confirming or denying any status, but one thing I am telling people is there's something you need to have before you even go down that aisle, and that's a form of peace. You need a peace, joy is all of the same thing. So that way, before you even get in a situation, you already have it. Because what's this goofy ass talking point where people say, "Oh, she needs to bring me peace"? No, you need to have your own before you even go down that road. Now, and also with you, and here's the reason why I bring that up. You might be so enamored with your peace where the idea of marriage is obsolete. That's not to say you don't want to get married or you're going to pass it up if everything makes sense, add value, helps you to go. Cool, but you have to understand that if people don't want to get married, they don't have to. A and B, if they are so in one with their peace, they're saying marriage is just not a desire for me. I'm okay with that as well. With
But
that,
I'm okay with it too. I started my statement with that. I started my say it's two different people. It's the people who say they want to get married. These are the people I had a conversation with. And then there's another group of people who say, hey, I just want to keep living a single life. I have never tried to convince somebody who want to live the single life to get married. If you want to be single, stay single. I want to have a conversation with people who desire to be married, who wants to be married. So now that you want to be married, why did you feel that out of 38 years that you've been on this earth, you haven't been able to accomplish something that you want?
um, Vet, hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Um, well, again, that's the funniest thing. That's a wild assumption as well. But I will say this: if it's everything happens for a reason, and everything works out best when it's organic and it's not rushed. So sometimes you just gotta let it happen naturally.
That's crazy.
I appreciate what you're doing and what you're saying because this conversation needed to be had. And you one of the few people that I don't mind having this conversation or even having a conversation offline regarding this. But one thing I know I don't do anymore And if I used to do this, I want to take a moment to apologize to anybody. I'm not rushing anybody to do anything because everything needs to happen. Everything needs to happen on God's time anyway. Now that let's bring the religious aspect back into it. It's no longer my time. Everything needs to happen on God's time anyway. And if God said this is right, let it happen.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying is, um, sometimes we try to blame stuff on God that's on us, right? So
Right,
first
right.
of all, I think a person, and like I said, this you don't have to do it online because if you want to keep it a secret, you can, right? But the first thing a person needs to say, what do I want to do? I want to be a business owner? I want to own a car lot. Okay. First thing I do is first of all, you know how in AA they say first you gotta admit that you want it. Okay. I want to be made whole. I want to get off drugs. I want to do so first thing you gotta admit, I want to be married. And then once you do it, you say, what are some of the steps that I need to take to get to that? What did that woman look like? How am I gonna meet this? What do these women do? Like, I just think that most people who say they want to get married don't have a plan to get married. They think it's going to be this organic thing that comes without planning. And then guess what? That's why Sally Sue, who ain't good for you, show up because you didn't even have a plan and you was willing to take the next good looking thing that walks up.
Well, that's why Eden, man, it's always good to start with an internal community before you even think about building a community in general. So with you being because your internal community is actually your plan. What is your foundation? You need to find a foundation, or else you don't have no community. Once you find that foundation, next thing is called the principles of said foundation. Then you have to be obedient to the principles that you was able to grow from that foundation. And once you're obedient to it, you master it. Now you are disciplined. That's your plan because you know who is for your community and who needs to stay outside. So
Okay,
that way, so that way, when you organically cross paths with the right person who can who can integrate in your community, or you guys can integrate in each other's communities and build off of that. Congratulations,
why do it gotta be organic? Because I know people say this, like, why can't it be something that was put together? Like, back in the day, one thing that wasn't organic was arranged marriages, and they worked, right? I know a lot of people want to act like they did not work. Why do it gotta be, oh, I was walking down the river walk and we lock eyes? Why can't somebody put two people together that's not organic and they live the rest of their life together?
What will keep them? Then I would ask you, what's keeping them together?
Well, first of all, there's faith in their belief, and
That's the foundation. Keep going.
they're building a relationship. See, people don't. It's not about how you guys met. It's what tools are y'all doing to stay together.
And I just gave you the tools already. Internal community is your first tool before you think about building an actual community outside of that. I gave you the tools. Excuse me, foundation, principles, discipline, obedience, then discipline. Those are your four tools. That's internal community. Because once you master that, now you know who's going to be your spouse, who's going to be your friends, your business partner, etc., etc. I gave you the eternal tools first.
So you
That
got
way when
all
it's
that
time to
now,
build
right?
a family, now you already know
Now,
who's
I
coming
think
in or who needs to stay out.
so. You got all these things already, right? You got the foundations, right? So what's the next step, Chris?
At the
Excuse me,
foundation,
guys.
huh?
No,
I gotta
you're
go
not
help him
leaving.
with.
No,
I
no,
do. I have to go help with the
no.
kids. I love y'all.
I
I'll
sound
be
like
back.
y'all. They try to
I'll
do
be
something
back.
nasty.
And
Don't
where you
let them
going?
leave.
And where you
Stop it.
going?
They. Oh Lord, you done let them get away. They about to go be fast. I can hear it in their voice. I know them.
Hey, let the man folks do what they do.
Talking about the
But
kids.
but
I bet it was the kids.
stupid. But yeah, that has been me, and I tell everybody, and also keep it like that because, like I say, everybody's foundation is going to be different. You and I are both believers. Some people may be Muslim, some people may be Buddhist, or some people may be non-believers.
And them
But
people should get married.
either way, there's foundations, principles,
And
obedience,
they
and
should
discipline.
get married.
You said who shouldn't get married?
People that don't believe in God should not get married.
Now it's interesting that you say that because one thing I always tell people, hey, I'm a believer. So whatever you want to do outside of that is none of my business. And I'm
I
not
would
gonna hold
never
you.
tell it.
I'm not gonna hold you to the same standard that I hold myself.
I
That wouldn't be
am.
fair.
Listen, what I'm telling we I think is dangerous for believers to tell unbelievers to participate in spiritual things.
I
Marriage is a
agree. I
spiritual thing.
agree.
So
I agree with that.
I'm not about to say, hey, you go out there and do something when it's a spiritual thing. No, if you don't have knowledge of what the spiritual world is, and when it comes down to having a spiritual covenant, don't do it.
No,
Go
no, no.
play
That's
house.
why I said that. No, that's why I said that, because if you are a non-believer and you're active in your non-beliefs and you don't want to partake in the belief system, I can't force you to do that. That's against our belief system anyway. So whatever they want to do, that's no longer that's I'm out of it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Now that's gonna be between them and God. They'll find out that later on down the road. But as far as Bible beating them across the head, as a believer, we're not allowed to do that anyway.
No, no, I believe marriages was created by God, and
Mm-hmm.
God created marriages for people who believe in Him. I do not believe God created marriages for people who don't believe in Him. So people go and try to get married without them. I say I don't think marriage was for them because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't created for them.
Correct, and that's based off of our belief system. But also remember what I said earlier. Although you and I could agree to that, that doesn't negate the fact that we still see people who do get married who are
And
not
they
believers at all.
and and they're wrong. That's what I'm telling you. Like based on what I believe, regardless if anybody like it or not, God did not make it for unbelievers. I do not believe God made marriage for unbelievers. Even when we go to back into the Garden of Eden when Adam and Eve was married, because he referred to Eve as his wife, he designed marriage for believers.
You said design. Oh, design marriage for believers. Okay. Yeah, and guess what? I agree, but some people don't, and they
And
do.
then, and I'm not saying that everybody. Let me give you an example. Of what I'm saying, Paul. If I'm really what I'm telling you, Paul said he do not desire to be with a woman. He don't
Correct.
desire this. So since Paul didn't desire it, he desired to have a single lifestyle walking with God. So I'm
Correct.
not going to try to force Paul. I'm not. I don't think a person should try to force Jesus. But what we see in this guy is saying, I have a desire to entertain and be with women, right? And then they say, hey, check this out, but I don't want to be married. That's the problem. If you're going to be single away from women.
Well, yeah, it's especially stay away from my people as well, because they're walking a certain path, and they don't need to be associated with you. So you go do with whatever you want to do with those people over there, because apparently y'all got the same belief system. Leave me and mine over here.
All right. Well, I got to get out of here. I sound like my kids done got up and running around. But Chris, this was a great conversation. I
Yes,
think I
sir.
got I a little bit. I think you want to be married. I think that's the moral of the story. We just don't know what stage you is in accomplishing that goal. I think that's the main
I
part.
like to keep people guessing, because they may think they know, but
But
I'll
we
say
do know for a fact you ain't
but
married.
but I would always tell people I think you guys are missing a couple of key pieces. But I don't mind people. I like when
We know
people
for a fact that Chris J. Let me tell you, Chris
I
J.
like.
ain't one said. I know for a fact that Chris J. the guy who believes in Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior, is not married and keeping his wife a secret. I know that for a fact. I know that for a
Hey,
fact.
but either man, real quick, because I know you said you got to go. We have seen what happened to people who like to reveal too much of their personal information, and it's like you could have just kept that to yourself.
You reveal your wife. It's a reason that we have the ceremony. It's supposed to be. It's almost like the baptism, right? He studied
Mm-hmm.
how the baptism. The baptism supposed to be a celebrating that you're revealing your dedication to Christ. It's a spiritual. So like that's the point that I'm trying to help people is that if a man is married, and he's on these YouTube streets, he better let it be known. Now, as I'm saying that he got to show his wife, as I'm saying that he got to do all these kind of things where he's doing streams with her, absolutely not. But biblically, it's supposed to be known that you married. It don't supposed to be a secret. And we saw this when when Sarah went to Egypt and the Pharaoh was about to sleep with Sarah in the Bible, and he said, "You not." He was like, "You didn't tell me this was your wife." Like,
Yep,
it's
God came to an Yep.
yeah. So I'm telling people this is like, hey, our wives don't supposed to be a secret. Let me tell you that right now. That's not how God designed it. It's supposed to
Well,
be.
but I hear what you're saying as far as not being secret, but also you gotta keep in mind, what what are your duties to your wife? Yes, fellas, what are your duties to your wife? Yes, I said that. What and if you are supposed to protect her in that aspect, that you do that to the fullest extent. Now, as far as public uh, declarations, that has already been done. Already, you talk about the marriage, and that ceremony. Yeah, that has already been done. That was already taken care of. But if some people decide to keep certain aspects offline,
They're
or even
wrong.
in real life, it's like you have
They're
to.
wrong.
No,
Okay, like
I don't, I
it's
don't, I don't, I
it's
don't think
it's
so.
no
Because E-Man, you've been in
it's
this space with me long enough
I'm
to
just
see.
telling. I mean,
Okay,
listen.
cool.
If I was up here not telling people I was married, I would be wrong. So, Chris, I'm gonna tell you one brother to another. If you a married man and you up here keeping your wife as a secret, that is crazy, and you are wrong, brother. But I don't think you married, so that don't apply to you anyway. So,
I was saying, hold on. I was saying, E-Man, where we at now? You say I was married. Now you say I'm not. Now I'm keeping a secret, or I don't got a secret to keep. That's what I'm
no,
saying,
I
man.
don't think you married, but I think the audience. I think the audience needs to know if you a married man. When Sel and Rob they got married, it was smart for them to say that that was her husband, and that like they need to let it be known, even from a protection point of view. Rob G stopped getting certain levels of attack when she got married. It's some
she
men
stopped
start by
getting. She stopped getting certain levels of
absolutely.
attack.
Absolutely. It was men that was willing to talk crazy to Robbie, and when they announced that she was married, she had a level of protection in these YouTube streets. Dude stopped talking crazy to her. And that's a fact. That's a
Okay,
fact.
all right. I will say this: they stopped directly talking crazy to her, because if it gets wind that you're still talking, as obviously they're gonna pull up.
That's all
But I
that's
get what
all
you I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. And yeah, for the record, E-Man, that's my brother. I have zero problem with what he's articulating right now. I like these conversations. And matter of fact, these conversations are not had enough. Actually, these conversations are not had at all on these spaces. So that's why I wanted this to be put out there, this conversation. So now, instead of asking, is Chris really married or not? That's not the foundation of the conversation. Conversation is what him and I was speaking about, along with Raw and Cell, regarding the difference between your necessities and desires, the difference of how you need to conduct yourself and how you need to carry yourself if you are married, or if you're not married, what are you doing, or do you want to be married, or should you be married? These are the conversations that is not had. And I thought today, even on my 30th birthday, this was a necessary conversation to have. Now it's gonna be remain. I never confirm or deny anything. Chris, if you are married, then congrats. If you're not married, then I appreciate your bad done thing. But yeah, any confirmation, I always tell people, the best thing to do is to keep people guessing. But I will tell you this, man. I appreciate you, man. Anytime you know you can come back here. Anytime we
no
got we
problem.
can we
And
can have
especially
we can have these conversations.
And especially Chris, if anybody is having relationship conversation, should disclose if they married or not. That is, you'll understand how
But
dangerous that is.
and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I will also say this: I got 1,000 videos. What have you not been watching?
I'm just making it clear that people, hey, you got, if you out here got your whole wife, you need to tell all those Jezebel spirits that you're not on the market.
And
That's a fact.
I will say this. You guys got a lot of digging to do because I got over 1,000 videos on my channel. Have fun.
I got you. I'm just letting it be known. I want to let everybody know. I tell people from the north, south, east, and west. Now, whether they like it or not, it's on them.
I appreciate it because the answer you're
All
looking
right.
for is within them 1,000 videos. Just have fun.
All right.
All right, my brother. I'll talk to you later. Oh man, shout out to Eden, man. Shout out to Raw. Shout out to Cecile. That was a good conversation, ladies and gentlemen. That is a necessary conversation that needs to be had. This is different from those DNP conversations. They're saying a woman a woman needs to be like this, or we don't respect a woman with we don't respect an independent woman, an independent thinking woman, or we don't respect the man that gets with the independent. I'm like, shut up. Go have a real conversation with people. Like go outside, touch grass, have that real life interaction. See this, and this is why I always tell people, like whether it be on Clubhouse, obviously here on YouTube, I'm going to have we're going to have different conversations. Usually, we're going to have different conversations that different from everybody else, whether it be in the hallways or on the YouTube streets, or just quite frankly, if we do have the same conversations that everybody's having, we're going to have a different perspective that nobody's thinking. Because today we introduced the idea that do you need to get married? Or what's better, the need to be married or the wants to be married? Do you need to be married or do you want to be married? See, we don't have this conversation because the perspective is women, you need to be in a relationship because you are useless without a man. And I also say that women are children, and I always ask people to the person that keeps saying this, are you attracted to children? But that's a conversation for another day. So when we had those conversations, I want to push that. I just want to push that envelope so that way we can start having uncomfortable conversations. I'll put uncomfortable air quotes because it's not uncomfortable for me, but let's start having uncomfortable dialogue, and that's okay. It's a safe space. Let's do that. I say, come here and let's do that here so we can actually walk this through. All right. So, ooh, excuse me. This was a fun. This was a fun street. Yeah, that's right. I was on this side. And where's my whatchamacallit? Okay, here it is. All right, y'all. It's been a while since I did a 3 hour live stream, y'all. But we're gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Let's get to the super chats there. I gotta get out of here. All right, check the cash app. Bad Dub. Appreciate you for the $10 super chat. Uh, and Bad Duck is a wild boy, but he's good people. What did the big black guy say when the hot when the hot midget chick asked him for sex? I don't get down like that. You are crazy. Find this bear. I'm going to hell. What do you call a barn full of black people? Antique farm equipment. You are insane. What's next? Shout out to Adu, member for 2 months on Sales Podcast. Support the show. And finally, Bad Duck, your mama's so white she stuck her out of the Rizzler and half of the Black America died laughing. Ooh, shout out to Bad Duck. Jesus Christ, man. Jay, man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we need we're gonna I gotta get back to real life, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoy these 2 months, maybe a month and a half of just having that day off on Sundays, freedom to have these shows. Unfortunately, that has came to an end today. This was my This is gonna be my last time doing a shows like this, etc. for a long time. So we're gonna have to squeeze. We're gonna have to find a way to squeeze in these morning shows, and we're gonna have to figure that out. We can either do it because I don't think I'm doing any Monday night or Tuesday night show because I need 8 hours of sleep. So we'll see about Thursdays or Fridays. We get a show in and we get some content in. I want to take a moment to thank people for subscribing to the channel. I want to thank people for getting who've been viewing my shorts and actually it being in rotation. These things that surprised me. And Graham was right. Those shorts will really help get your message across and start. And it's a real conversation starter. And I can't wait to see what we do next. Now, I will say this: the next show will be the 100th installment of Get It Off Your Chest. The 100th installment of Get It Off Your Chest. That will be the next one. And trust me, once we get that out the way, because I want to do that here. Let's just say I've been quiet for a long time. That won't be a thing. Continue forward. Y'all gonna get a lot of things, and y'all gonna get a lot of new hashtag like hashtag Chris is always right. Shout out to Self for giving me that idea. But let's go. Let's get out here. Bad Duck asked me, "Why ain't you monetized yet?" Sometimes what I do, Bad Duck, with my show is I take breaks. I take long breaks. I'll come do content for 3 months. I'll take a break for 3 months, come back and leave. I do that intentionally for me. It's a creative process. It's a rest process. It's something I've been doing for years. Season 8 has been my most active season because I started integrating YouTube and live stream and Clubhouse. So that's why that was my most active year. But that's the only reason. So it's like a consistency. It's a short answer of why I am not monetized yet. But that's something I know I've been working on. Other than that, I just been in the creative space. I put out 3 short films. I am going to combine those 3 short films and put it as one long format. Um, can I do that today? Nah, I'll probably just have that ready for Christmas. But it's just that I'm exploring new projects, and when I get in that creative space, I just want to um, devote my time to creativity. Like some of you guys saw who was here, y'all saw the trailer for Whisper of Doubts. Although that is an actual YouTube series that we're going to talk about my walk, we're also we're also going to transition that into a short film for next year, maybe a regular film. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still working on it, but it's just that when I had these creativity spurts, it's like I put YouTube on the back burner. It's like I gotta attend to my creativity. I like this idea. I want to do this. I want to have this scene. I want to have these scripts. I want to have this angle of the camera. And now that I did that with Whisper of Doubts, these are actually things that I actually want to talk about on my YouTube show. So let's go ahead, excuse me, let's go ahead, break this down into series and let's talk about each of these things, walk through them. How did I get there? What was I going through through that situation? And how did I get out of that negative space, that dark space that I was in? So I'm not monetized because lack of consistency, but a lot of creativity that I tend to prioritize. I will say this: with what I've been doing with the clips and the shorts, all I gotta do is remain consistent, and I will be monetized. Like I'm 10% away from being monetized right now when it comes to watch hours, and obviously subscribers can get it. I need 35. Last time I checked, hold on, let me see something. Uh, where am I at with the subscribers now? Yeah, I'm at 966, so I need 34 more subscribers. Then we're at 1,000. Then after that, I just need to build up the watch time. So we'll get there. Trust me, we'll get there. I wasn't rushing into it. Like I said, I'm being organic. I just let it happen naturally. I'm not rushing into monetization, but I can tell you one thing. I think I found a formula to get monetized. I could definitely say that. I have found quite a few formulas, and I'm doing one right now as we speak. Let me see okay, I'm not gonna see it on this angle. I gotta see it. Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. Numbers are growing. So we'll get there. Trust me, we'll get there. But let's go ahead and get out of here because I need to skedaddle. Shout out to Cellulite. Shout out to Raji. Shout out to my guy Eden, man. I appreciate that conversation. A lot of people will be offended with his approach and how he was addressing me. I didn't find that offensive at all. Matter of fact, I appreciate it. That's how you know when people are battle tested. I was ready for that conversation, and I appreciate having that conversation with him. So shout out to Eden, man. He is more than welcome to come back. We can have more conversations like this. Nadish, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on your way out, if you like this, you want more content like this, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. Excuse me. Participate, waive all rights and privacy. We're on a road to 1,000 subscribers. We are 34 subscribers away. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 during the Cash App giveaway. I love you guys. Thank you guys for pulling in for my 38th birthday. This is the BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Talk to you guys later.
Extraterrestrial. Like an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial.
Doctor?
Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like an extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong.
It's a mess. Hey, don't even worry about it.
Extraterrestrial.